Yeah. Alright, we're going to go ahead and pick up where we left off in the last stream. We are working on getting up to 100% game completion in Ghost Simulator. In last stream, we left off after completing a few of the quest lines that I don't usually do in a rebirth, including Reed and Michaela, and then also doing a few of the second arc ones, namely Morgan. I also did Luna and unlocked a few of the backpacks. So in today's stream, we'll go ahead and continue that progress on completing some quest lines, continuing with the second arc ones. So this will start to get a little bit longer than last stream per quest, because in last stream we were working on a lot of the quicker quests, namely Reed and Michaela only took about 45 minutes each, and then once we got to Morgan and Luna, they were both actually relatively quick, at least compared to what these the newer NPCs in the second arc are going to take. So, yeah, the first NPC we will be starting with today will be Ghost Hunter Rose. This will probably not even get us 1% towards our game completing this whole quest line, just due to how many quests are required to complete in Ghost Simulator. Once we complete this, we'll move on to Ella. Then once we complete Ella, we will move on to Ghost World, where we need to go ahead and complete both Nixie and Dylan and Jax, and that will probably be all that we have time for to do this stream. Maybe if we have time, we'll go ahead and grab Debug, and maybe do a few Great Guardian bosses. But yeah, for the most of today, it will be working on some of these longer quests from second arc. So we probably should just get straight into it, so we don't end up wasting too much time. But yeah, I looked at this quest a little bit before I started today's stream, and it's going to be a longer one. Like, even its first few quests require a lot of ghosts, quite a bit more than what usually are required, and it looks like there's a few other people in Wild West, so we'll go ahead and switch over to a private server, I guess. But yeah, it'll require a few more ghosts than Morgan's quest did, and it also requires us to go backtrack in previous areas to collect some ghosts from there, which ends up taking a lot longer than if you just have to work in the area you're at. So these quests are probably going to take an hour and a half each for the next 4 quests. So progress is going to be slow from pretty much now until we actually get to 100%. Yeah, these are going to be the quests that is definitely going to take the most amount of time for this challenge. As I said, hour and a half per quest. Some like Jax even take upwards of 2 hours to do, so we might be in for a long run for these ones. Alright, looks like everything is working properly on the stream side, so webcam's a little bit glitchy, but that's kind of usual. Yeah. Alright, we are good to go. Anyways, one of the interesting things about Ghost Simulator quests is just how the cookie cutter quests are the best quests in the game, in my opinion at least. It feels like if the devs I guess devs usually aren't the ones writing the quest lines anymore. But like if the contributors that write the quest lines, they like try to create their own quest line stuff, it usually ends up either being like way too short and kind of weird quests, or way too long and just annoying to do. So it's nice when we do get the cookie cutter quests. Try saying that one 3 times fast. But it is nice when we do get those like template quest lines where it's just like, oh yeah, do these things in a row a few times and then you're done. Because those ones have been balanced out to be pretty good, whereas all the other ones are kind of just a pain. But yeah, today is update day for Ghost Simulator, so in around 5 hours there will be an update to the game. If that does come out, we'll go ahead and check it out. But I may be done streaming by then, so if that's the case, I don't know, maybe I'll cover it in a new video later. We'll see. It may not even be worth covering, to be honest, so may not even get a video. Hello. But yeah, I think... What, did we have a big update last week or not? I'm trying to remember if the last... No, last update was the inventory remodel, that's right. So... Yeah, this update might actually be something big. If we're going off based off the fact that devs recently said that every other update will be a relatively big update. I mean, honestly, for Ghost Simulator, at this point, it's hard to say what a big update is and what a small update is, just because of how many obvious updates they have, like obvious small stuff, like adding new classifieds to the new crates in Remnant World is a... I don't know whether that's considered a big or a small update. So some stuff like... Yeah, there's a lot of small things that they add that might be considered big updates, and so even if it is supposed to be a big update, we don't know if not necessarily means it's going to be a good update, per se, but yeah. Yeah, honestly, a lot of people in that play Ghost Simulator go through like these stages where sometimes you're like hyper focused and like every day for 4 hours a day for like 3 weeks straight you decide to go play Ghost Simulator, grind for like the leaderboard or something else. Then other times you're like, I can put it off for another 3 weeks. But yeah, these are the quests I'm talking about that are really a pain in these second arc quest lines. I have to go back and collect 20 and 30 of some previous area ghosts, which is just going to take way too long to actually go ahead and do. Yeah, it's very common to actually see people go through those phases. I think that's just how it works with like burnout in any game. I think it is kind of hard to be like absolutely consistent. You get distracted with other games and stuff like that. So can't really blame people if they aren't like 100% playing a game. Anyways, every single time I see like mechanic ghosts or junkyard or construction site ghosts, I usually end up getting them reversed. So the fact that I'm actually going to the right place for these construction or these mechanic ghosts is kind of funny. I don't know what it is, but like every single time they ask for construction site or junkyard, I end up going to the wrong one. Like same thing happens whenever like people ask for the remnant drive position. Like, oh yeah, where's this key piece in the junkyard? And I'm like, there isn't one. Or I'm like, do you mean Luna's fragment or something like that? And it's just, I get so confused. Anyways, 5 more of these ghosts, 14 more of these ghosts, and 13 more of those ghosts. So probably shouldn't be worrying too much about the Wild West at this moment. Probably should just be alternating between here and construction site or junkyard, but yeah. How many of you guys have actually done the second arc quest lines? I know a lot of these extra quest lines like Luna, Blaze, second arc, Gramps even. People don't end up doing them just because of how like useless they are in the long term. So they're like the most underdone quest lines in Ghost Simulator. If you go look at like the completion percent of a lot of these quests, through the badges on Roblox, you actually see kind of a funny thing where some of the required quest lines, like Agent Blaze, have so much more completions than some of the earlier quests, like Luna or stuff like that. I've done every quest line in the game at least once, but I don't do many of them repeatedly. Yeah, I think that's what most people do. They will do the quest once when it comes out. But like once they rebirth, they're not going to go do Agent Blaze or Ghost Hunter Blaze again or Ghost Hunter Luna. Those are like one-time quest lines where you just do it once just for like the completion-ish of it. It's interesting to see that most people actually do that. I wouldn't be surprised if people just completely skip some of these quest lines, and just worked on stuff that's actually helpful to them. But yeah. Oh, we still have to do... I always forget that there's so many more quest lines than I think in this challenge. Or in 100% in Ghost Simulator. Let's see, have we even got 1% from these quests? I mean, it's a little bit greedy to be wanting a 1% already, but... I want to be able to get up to at least 98% by the end of today. And if I can get 1% done, like, early... oh, nice. That's, like, perfect timing for this boss. If I can get, like, 1% super early, it would make the rest of it a lot easier. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, YouTube, a lot of, like, chat stuff occasionally do weird glitches where, like, oh, they think the previous one failed to send or something, so they just automatically resend it, and it ends up sending it twice. It's actually kind of normal-ish, so it's not super big of a surprise when it does happen. But yeah, most quest lines don't reward badges. Like, mainly badges are useful in the early parts of games, where it's like a milestone for people to get to, in like sort of a progression point. Later on, it's progression. People usually understand the progression, so they don't need like badges to help them guide them through the game. But yeah. Nah, it's actually a very common thing in pretty much every chat thing. I'm surprised I don't think I've ever seen Roblox do that, which is kind of weird and interesting based on how Roblox handles a lot of stuff in its game. Surprised that doesn't do that error. Roblox does have its own issues with chat, like it not sending. But, you know, it doesn't ever really duplicate messages. What part of the annoying quests are you doing right now? I'm working on Ghost Hunter Rose, which is a second arc quest line. That is very similar to Jesse, requiring you to go back and grab a lot of old ghosts, which is probably going to be the most annoying part of the quest line. But yeah. Hello, Jelly Turtle. Welcome to the stream. Yeah. Annoying quests is today's thing. Hopefully we can get up to 98%. I believe 98% would be like 4 quests done. Maybe. I don't know. The thing is, I don't know how much like each quest adds to game completion percent versus stuff like index or other things. So for instance, like these, the 6 pets I'm missing in my index could be responsible for like 3% of my missing game completion percent. I really don't know. So it's hard to say that completing this amount of quests will give me this percentage of my game completion. But based on like previous quests and stuff, I believe I should be able to get 2% done today. Whoa, what was that? Was that my computer? Yeah, I think that was my computer deciding nope. Because it looks like we dropped down to 0 FPS on my recording stuff too. Okay, I don't know. My computer isn't liking this for some reason. Is some of my settings off or something? I usually don't get lag spikes that badly. Let me check something really quick. Hopefully that doesn't like mess with the stream or anything. Just trying to make sure that we don't have like anything using up a stupid amount of resources. Obviously Roblox is going to be using up a stupid amount of resources. Alright, that might help. Yeah, it's probably not going to help. Yeah, okay. OBS Studio, yes, you can use those resources. Anti-malware, yeah, I like not having malware. Camo Studio, I like having my camera up. Windows Explorer, yes, sure, fine, whatever. Alright, it doesn't look like anything is out of the ordinary, unfortunately. Probably would get quests only give like 1.1% game completion. Honestly, it's not even that. It's like 1% per quest or something. Super low. But yeah, as you're saying, it is, even if they do just give us a very small amount, it is required for 100% game completion, so we still have to do them. Yeah. I think the most annoying part will be definitely Jax. Her requirement of doing every single boss in a row is always a really annoying one. We will at least be able to be getting ectoplasm and gems from that, so it won't be too much of a waste of time. But it won't be fast by any means. But yeah, I think Jax is still a ways out. I don't even know if we'll be able to get to Jax today. I think we have to do this quest line, Ella's quest line. I want to do Nixie's quest line after that, and then Jillian's quest line. So that's 4 quest lines between now and then. So it might not even be able to get there if these quest lines end up taking too long. But yeah. Every single boss? Yeah, she requires you to do one of every single boss in main hub. So Mag, sewer boss, all those fun stuff. Not like Dino or Jolly Roger or Grim or anything like that, just all the ones in main hub. I thought Ghost Hunter and Blaze had that. Oh, a lot of the quests used to have that, like Yoko used to have it. It's a very traditional old style quest. So yeah, Blaze probably has it, but I know Jax also has it and Yoko used to have it, so that makes me remember how painful Jax actually was. Yeah, some quest lines we remember being a lot worse than they are. For instance, Luna. I did Luna for this for this challenge, and going back through Luna, she's actually a really easy quest line. It took me like 30 minutes at most to do hers, and like a lot of that time is find items and stuff like that. So it's actually a pretty easy, pretty much just a breeze. Blaze is actually difficult. He does require you to do quite a bit of ghosts and bosses. But like Luna's is mainly items, which is pretty easy at this point in the game, since there is so much loot gum availability. I did Jax not too long ago, and I don't remember Jax having that quest. I don't know. Maybe it was changed at some point. I don't believe it was. I believe it is still the full pain complete the cycle quest line. But it like there's like a 20% chance that was changed and I just forgot. Maybe higher if you take into account the fact that I forgot an entire NPC was added. So a small change to an already in the game useless NPC wouldn't have been noticed. But yeah, I believe it is still that painful. I believe it's around quest 10 or 11, like the halfway point of her quest line, but I could be wrong. How do you go fast end of Ghost World? I'm assuming how do you get through Ghost World fast? Ghost World is structured in a way that's very hard to tell how to progress in the game. There's a lot of NPCs that you can get stuck on. So I do have a video covering like a walkthrough on how to go through Ghost World fast. But like the pretty much the gist of it is you go do stuff like Leo and Yoko that will be helpful for later on, and then you skip straight to Gatekeeper once you complete those two. Even like Leo is not strictly required to progress, but just super helpful, and not too much of a pain for how useful it is. But yeah. Yoko is required for progressions, so might as well do it before trying to go through Gatekeeper. But yeah. Yeah, skip Leo if you're like rebirth grinding. That's generally the consensus. But if you're going through the game for the first time and you just need to know how to get through Ghost World, it is helpful to do Leo because it is a bit more of a stepping stone to be able to handle Gatekeeper's quests. And then it also gives you a really good perk that you will be able to use later when you're like grinding bosses or something. For other quests. If you do it before Yoko, that's super helpful. If you do it after Yoko, it'll still help for some of the later quests. But yeah, the biggest thing is actually more of the stepping stone that it gives to be able to do Gatekeeper's quests efficiently. Because otherwise you get to Gatekeeper's quests and you're like, oh, why are these ghosts taking 10 hours to vacuum a piece? When if you just like go spend 3 hours, they'll now only take like 2 minutes to vacuum, which is still a long time, but I think you guys understand how where I'm going with that, where like if you put in a little bit more time before you get to Gatekeeper, those ghosts become a whole lot easier to vacuum, and you'll save lots of time in the long run. Anyways, 3 more ghosts, then hopefully we are done with, oh, never mind. This quest line's stupid, I forgot. Yeah, I was about to say hopefully we're done with Area 51 just because of how limited it is in ghosts. There's only 9 ghost spawns compared to the normal 12. But I think this next quest of Rose is going to require Area 51 and then like city and other stuff ghosts. So we are nowhere near done with Area 51. Yeah. Have I said how much I hate quest lines that require you to go back to previous area to collect previous health ghosts? Like, those are the worst quest lines in the game. And like, that's the entirety of Rose's quest lines, I think. It's pretty much Jesse, but a little bit harder and giving nothing in return, so yeah. If this was a video, you guys would probably see me skip forward to the end of this quest, just because this will probably take 10 minutes to do. Which personally I think is stupid. I think this quest line should probably just have all those 40 and 36 previous area ghosts removed, or turned down to like 10 at most. Collecting this much ghosts from previous areas takes forever. Yeah, Agent Blaze is a little bit different. It's nostalgic. Most of the quests are more of items than actual ghosts. Like there is one quest that requires you to collect ghosts. But like even that one's like, it's tolerable. It's not like 40 ghosts or anything like that where you actually have to spend some time waiting around for them to respawn or anything, which is usually the most annoying part of previous area ghosts, is waiting around for them to respawn. So yeah, Agent Blaze isn't too bad. It's more of like when they require you to go vacuum 50 rat ghosts or 40 mermaid ghosts or 60 fairy ghosts or something like that, where it just gets super annoying. Oh, where was I at? Yeah, it's mainly the server hopping for Agent Blaze. It's not really the quests themselves. It's more of the server hopping that's required to do them, which is kind of why a lot of people have been recently suggesting like ways to remove that server hopping from his quest lines. Like I know a very common suggestion is to add a radio or something so you can claim a quest without actually having to go back to an NPC in their world. So you can be like, oh yeah, next main hub quest, please, while you're in main hub of Blaze. It's not a bad idea. I think it's a bit overused in other games, so but it would work in Ghost Simulator. Definitely take a little bit of the annoying pieces out of Agent Blaze's quests. But I think there's other neater solutions that could be potentially a lot funner, I guess. Where since like a lot of find item quests are kind of just the same, they could be made so that instead of just finding an item, instead of you having to go touch it, you could actually like pre-touch it and then pre-collect it, similar to how items work. But that's my idea. It's probably not as good as I think it is. And there's a ton of ways to solve that problem, I'm sure, that devs could add, but yeah. Yeah, oh, Yoko asked for quite a bit of bosses. Yeah, I mean, Yoko and Blaze are pretty much the same NPC, right? The confusion there is understandable. Like, Yoko's required for a rebirth, and Agent Blaze is required for a rebirth, and they both require you to do annoying quests. Yeah, they're not super similar. I just play Ghost Similar too much and complain about the same things too much that all my complaints get mixed up. But no. In all seriousness, I've been playing quite a bit of other games other than Ghost Simulator recently. one of the I guess I've been playing quite a bit of Steam games. I've been getting into Steam recently. Not like any of the super popular Steam games, more of like super niche ones. I think recently it's been Bloons TD 6, which isn't really a Steam game. It's on Steam, but it's more of its own game other than a Steam game. Yeah. I'm trying to think. I've been playing Town of Salem a bit. You guys probably don't know what Town of Salem is, so. But yeah. Think Among Us, but more text-based. And a little bit different. It's not quite the same thing, but it's pretty similar. Yeah, Yoko asked for a lot of... I haven't actually been playing too much Minecraft. That's the interesting thing. I don't think I've played Minecraft in like 3 or 4 months or something ridiculous. And honestly, I don't feel like it. At some point, I probably need to stop my Realm subscription because no one really uses it. But I feel like just keeping it on until like the next update drops, and then I'll do actual content and make regular videos or something on it. It's not going to happen, but I feel like keeping the Realm up. Agent Blaze and Yoko's animations look almost identical. Yeah, that's totally where the confusion stems from. I'm totally paying enough attention to know that their animations are the same. Honestly, I couldn't even have told you, like, most times that there are actual animations on the NPCs themselves. I have never noticed the animations. I guess you aren't really supposed to notice them, but like I would have just thought all NPCs are static. Actually, a lot of the NPCs are... Most NPCs just have a nice resting animation. I wouldn't have even been able to tell you that, but... Alright, there we go. Like the way they stay in their related areas. Alright, let's see. Get the ice back. Alright, we are halfway through this quest, and it has been only like 30 minutes, so... maybe I was a bit harsh saying this questline would take an hour and a half. I'm probably going to be brutally reminded, like, next quest that requires, like, 60 rare ghosts or something stupid like that. Why I was thinking it would take that long, but yeah. That's actually a pretty tame quest. Yeah, 30 miners and 10 living ghosts. That's actually a really easy quest line. I don't even think the gold bars on this will be a pain. It's a surprise. Yeah, I don't really remember too much of the dialogue of these NPCs, but I know Rose is a bit artsy. Actually, a lot of second arc NPCs are like artsy, and I think that's a bit because of like all the writers are artists themselves, so a lot of their like character bleeds over into the NPCs they write, and so we end up getting a lot of very art related NPCs. Like Ella is somewhat art related. I don't think she's really artsy, but she definitely feels like an art character. Rose obviously is. Michaela is very colorful. Yeah, a lot of NPCs are just really colorful in Ghost Simulator. Hearts is kind of artsy in a way. I don't think she's really artsy, but more of colorful than anything else. I think Archie says he likes art or something. Yeah, there's a lot of quest lines. Interesting. Is it actually a good meme, or is it just kind of... Let's go see. Yeah, I'm gonna be on this quest for next while. I hate how Discord always opens in that... in this. I always have it open in my second monitor over like here, but it always opens on my first monitor over here, which is I'm sure there's a default to change that somewhere, but it's always annoying me that it happens, and then I have to go drag it over to my second monitor. Oh yeah, opening Discord was probably a bad idea because now it probably has to update or something. Whatever. If the stream's laggy for the next little bit, that's why I decided to go open Discord to go look at a meme someone posted in my Discord group. Okay, now there's a cat meowing at me. And I don't know where she's coming from. No. Yeah, okay. What do you need, Jazzy? Then come up here. Or up there. I don't... I'm busy right now, Jazzy. I can't just give you attention in the middle of a stream. Alright, let's go see what that, Come on, Jazzy. Ah, no, you're just talking about the animation beats. Ah, yeah, they do have the similar stance, I guess. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Anyways. You won't distract me, Jazzy. I have stuff to do. I'm already way too distracted. Yep. Yep. I guess this is the stream now. It's a cat stream. Cat's playing Ghost Simulator. Alright. Actually, isn't this quest, like, actually easier than the last quest we had that required ghosts from previous areas? If I remember correctly, Jazzy, not like that. If I remember correctly, like, last quest, we needed to get, like, 40 or something of the normal ghosts from other areas. Now we only need to get 30 business ghosts, so, hopefully that's a good sign, but I doubt it'll last. Alright. And then we also need rat ghosts, which should be about the same difficulty, I guess, as the business ghosts, since they are rare ghosts, but yeah. Was perfect timing. Yeah, she is great at showing up in the middle of streams. It probably isn't helped by the fact that I'm probably the only one home to give her attention, so, and she's a very attention-driven cat. I mean, she'll take all the attention she can get. And treats. She loves treats, too, but, I don't give her treats, so she doesn't beg me for treats. So that's good. Yes, you are a spoiled kitty, aren't you? The diamond that Ella says in her questline is Revenant diamonds. Yes. Pretty much all the, Rose says she sees hearts or something, which is referring to hearts. I think diamonds is referred to. I don't think spades or clubs is referred to, but, they have their own thing going on, so not too big of a problem there, but yeah. Do you want to come onto my lap, or do you want to just sit there in the middle of the... Chelsea, I have ghosts to go vacuum. I can't just be paying attention to my cat. Yeah, this is my cat, Jazzy. If you guys don't know, she shows up in my streams quite a bit. Usually she's good and decides to just go sit on my lap or somewhere else out of the way. But right now it's looking like she hasn't got her attention for the day, so she is needing that today. And yeah, she's a very cute thing. She's a bit of a weirdo, but I think all cats are. Yes, I called you a weirdo. You're a very cute weirdo. Alright. Spoiling my cat while I play Ghost Simulator? Yeah, it's more of playing Ghost Simulator, or playing a little bit of Ghost Simulator while my cat gets all the attention she deserves. Aren't you just a cute? An attention black hole. Alright, we do need to actually go vacuum ghosts because I do want to get this quest done before the stream ends. I can't have a 5-hour stream and all it is a cat. That would be lying. Unless I change the thumbnail, then we could definitely go ahead and do that. Actually, let me see. I want to see what this looks like. That looks bad. Oh, go back. I'm just trying to figure out which scenes I have and if I have any that are actually good. But yeah, now she's staring at my computer. Hopefully she isn't thinking about breaking anything. But yeah, we're also getting like, what, like 2 FPS on the stream, so yeah. No, don't go back there, Jezzy. You'll just end up breaking something, and it won't be fun. Good girl. Yeah, she's staring at you guys now. I don't know what she sees back there, but... she's now following my cursor on the screen, so... and now I have no idea where she's looking. Alright. I don't even know what my cat's doing anymore. Alright, where's my YouTube? There you go. You think she wants your nachos? Oh, she loves cheese. That's probably what she smells or something. All the way through your camera. No, I have no idea how that works, but yeah, if she is a very, very good cheese addict. I don't think she gets cheese very often, but like whenever you're like have cheese out for whatever reason, she's right there begging for some. Same thing with like most meats, but meats make sense. Cheese is a little bit more interesting. But yeah. Yeah, this cat ghost definitely escaped the Ghost Simulator. So, my cat loves potatoes. Yeah, cats are very weird. They love the weirdest things. Like she loves going outside. Most of the time she just chills on like our front porch or something. But every once in a while, you'll catch her like way out in the backyard, like way far away from the actual house, and you're like, wait, what? Why are you out here? You like very rarely come out this far. And she sometimes just loves to adventure. And even though most of the time she's perfectly fine sleeping for half the day and then coming and meowing at people for the next half the day. But yeah. Hello. Alright, race we can ignore. One more living rock ghost. We don't need to go grab any more business ghosts. Yeah, I actually don't know if my cat's going to come get comfortable or something. Usually she tries to find somewhere to sleep or something, but I think right now she's in the attention mood more than the sleeping mood. Oh, collecting gems. Yeah, this is a hard quest line. We have to open 2. It's a law. Do you think that using hoverboard while grinding ghost slash items is better than using zoom gums? I mean, you're almost always better off if you're grinding items, just using loot gum. And yeah, I personally think hoverboard is good enough to replace zoom gum. I don't think zoom gum, like, even though it does allow you like full 360 movement, whereas you have to travel forward in a hoverboard and you take a little bit longer to turn and stuff like that. I don't think it's enough maneuverability loss to make sense to actually use zoom gum. 25 meteorites. Beautiful. I love collecting random items. Alright. Loot gum. Witchy loot gum. Use. There we go. Now all we need is 1 meteorite drop instead of 20. Wonderful. Which we probably still won't get any meteorite drops for the next 2 minutes, but whatever. Yeah, I do agree. I'm pretty sure every single NPC in Ghost Simulator would love a cat. And I think Jazzy would definitely get along with them. Honestly, if you give Jazzy enough attention, she'll get along with anyone. So I don't think that'll be a problem. But yeah. Wouldn't be surprised if you got a lucky cat. Yeah, they're race, really? I don't want to do a race. Next up we have our boss in this server, so we're going to just have to, I think, go back into public servers for this race and pray. Because a 50% is better than a 0%. We'll probably still end up using 2 event baits, but, you know. At least this way we have a chance of just using 1. Hello, Wolfie dude. Yeah, okay, she jumped up into one of the bunk beds in this room, so she is definitely going to sleep now. Alright, 1 race. What was the last? What was the last event? Probably a boss event if people are coming in selling their packs. Yeah, because we had an event in the server in the last 30 seconds. You can just defeat Boss Bo. We need to complete a race, not a boss. Yes, it was a race. All right. Is Queen Riley's remnant? I think someone said that she was actually like Rose's remnant or something silly like that. I would personally think it makes more sense for her to be Riley's or Luna's remnant. I just think that's the kind of character Queen is, where she's more of the remnant of like Luna or one of those two. Also, we didn't get teleported. And we got exactly 30 seconds. Perfect. I don't know how we managed that, but whatever. But yeah, I think she's Rose's, but I would agree that definitely makes more sense for her to be Riley's or Luna's, or even like Leo's or one of the leaders, ish, because she feels like more of a leader type character, but I don't think that's actually how she works. Oh yeah. Now we have to go back to private servers because people are also needing ghosts in this area. Hello! Yeah, right now we are working on Rose's quest for game completion. I don't even think we have gotten one game completion yet, and we're like 75% of the way through her quest, so it's definitely going to be a long stream to get the 2% I am planning on getting today. For game completion, might take a little bit longer than that even. One of the things I do know I will need to do off stream is going to be grinding for some of the key drives for getting the Great Guardian, or Mini Guardian, I guess. I'll probably do a bit of that grinding on stream, maybe not this stream, but I will probably need to do a third stream to get all up to 100% and a bit of stuff off stream in preparation for that too. So, main part of today's quest, though, or main part of today's work will be done trying to get quests completed. Wait, if Blaze has made all the pets, according to the lore, did Blaze Remnant have made the Remnant Zone? Made the pets from Remnant Zone? I don't think, according to lore, Blaze has made all the pets. I think he just created, like, the first one or two of them, and then, like, the rest of them were created, by other things. And I also find it interesting that, like, there's devs, and then there's, I don't know why I'm using an XCOM. There's devs canonically in the game, but, like, devs haven't, like, the pets, as you're talking about. Agent Blaze made the pets, yet their devs are in there canonically, and, like, devs actually made the pets. I don't know what all is, like, attributed to actually the devs' creations, versus, like, NPCs' creations. Like, it's a bit of blurry with how much the third wall, or the fourth wall is broken in this game. Like, oh, the devs truly made this, so according to the game, did they make it? It's kind of interesting to think about. It hurts my brain a bit, but yeah. Blaze created the classifieds. I think he made the he definitely made, like, stuff like Mini 1, I think is what, or Dave, I guess, is what he canonically made from Mini 1, or from the one boss, whatever that one's called. Whatever the alien boss is called, he made that. Subject 1. He turned that into, like, Dave or something, I think, according to, like, the lore and canon of it. But I don't know what other pets he made. It's as I said, it's kind of a blurry line on what was actually done there. And I think there's always, I personally think in, like, games like this, where, like, some of the quest lines are very lore based, that some of the other quest lines are just, like, they aren't really part of the lore. Like, what's a very good example of this? Or one of the things that people bring up often. I've brought this up before in the past. I personally will joke about it either way. But like NPCs, some NPCs reset when you rebirth. And according to that, it makes sense that some NPCs do remember you after rebirth because they're like able to remember that information after rebirth. But like some of that, I personally think that like some of that information, that's not really a lore that they remember you or forget you. I think it's more of just a game design practice. Same thing like infinite quests. I don't really think infinite quests make the lore like, oh yeah, these quest lines are infinite because of some silly lore factor. It's more of, oh yeah, they're infinite because it's a gameplay design thing, rather than a oh, this is a stupid quest. I hate this quest already. Rather than like some sort of big lore reason why they're all infinite. And I think that goes to a lot of things in Ghost Simulator, where it's more of a gameplay design feature than a lore feature. Similar, like pets and stuff. Obviously, there are some lore with pets, but I think like going to this extreme of like all pets are because this pet was made by Blaze, that means this and this and this, and stuff like that. I think it's more of just, no, it's a cool pet that they decide to add to the game. It doesn't mean anything lore-wise. There's some relevance to looking into lore like that. But I think for the most part, you end up going to an extreme where it's like, maybe a bit much. I think like one of the better examples of this is if you like treat developer NPCs as the developers themselves, where it's more of developer NPCs are unique from the developers, in a sense. Obviously, in terms of lore, they're the same thing, but like in the actual, there is a difference. Again, I don't know where I'm going with this, but, and I don't even, why did I even, oh yeah, because someone was talking about Agent Blaze and making all the pets, yeah. There are some things that you just need to scotch up to gameplay design rather than lore. Otherwise you dig way too deep into, very interesting stuff. Yes, I got very annoyed at this quest. I hate just blanket quests like this that require you to grab this many rare ghosts. Like, it's okay if it's like normal ghosts and like 40 of them, but like rare ghosts are exceptionally annoying because, well, they're rarer. And yeah. Also, we just vacuumed a lot of... Okay, good. There's a rare ghost. Because you can just get, like, completely clean sweeped on rare ghosts, whereas you're almost always guaranteed to have at least half the ghosts be normal ghosts. There's this interesting debate I have, like, whether or not some quest lines should be permanent, like, shouldn't reset when you rebirth. A lot of quests do reset when you rebirth, and then some of them don't. And honestly, it's kind of hard to tell whether or not one should reset or not reset. For instance, Cheshire doesn't reset when you rebirth. So you can only do her once, and she's required for a crafting recipe. So pretty much everyone has asked that Cheshire does reset when you rebirth. Yet on the other side, quest lines like Shelly or other long quest lines that also give a very similar reward to Cheshire's, like Jax and something. People are pretty adamant that they would like Jax or something like that not to reset when you rebirth. And it's interesting because there's pros and cons to both sides, and it's actually, it's not like, even like with each individual NPC, there's not really a clear-cut reason for them to reset or not reset. And I feel like a lot of people don't really understand just how complicated that whole situation is. Yeah, I think a good example of that is Shelly. Shelly gives you additional pet storage. I personally think she shouldn't reset, but she'd be made easier. But like a lot of people would like that she doesn't reset, and it would make sense if she didn't reset. Like it's an additional permanent pet slot, similar to how pet storage space is permanent once you get it. Also, that's pathetic. We can't even use our jetpack to jump up to here because of how laggy we are. We actually have to go all the way around. And yeah, and then there's some other stuff where it's like if Shelly becomes, the thing from Shelly becomes craftable in the future, pretty much everyone would ask for her to become reset upon rebirth again because of, it's annoying if you can only get one of something to craft. So because then you're either forced to have the item you craft or the thing that you use to craft it. And people want to have everything in the game. Like as it stands right now, it is impossible to have unlock every single board on an account, because you are required to use an item to, you are required to use the Cheshire's board to get the not the bento board, to get the, to get another board, and so, or jungle glow. So you're either, you can either have jungle glow or the other one. Technically, Cheshire's board is tradable, so you can just go ahead and, use an alt, grind that Cheshire on that alt, and then trade it to your main and have both. But like that's kind of annoying and tedious to do. Not everyone has alts. Yeah. Let's see, oh yeah, we're needing Zorgs and mummies mainly, I think. Or I see. Oh, that was a good Zorg. Okay, I think you guys would agree with me. It's really satisfying to come into an area when you need rare ghosts and see 3 of the same rare ghosts in a spawn. It's one of the most satisfying things to find in Ghost Simulator, in my opinion. Like, you come and see 3 normal ghosts and it's like, meh. But like, if you see 3 rare ghosts, it's always like, ooh. It looks super clean, I think. Yeah, second to last quest. In all honesty, this is like the halfway point of this quest line, just because of how backloaded this quest or this quest line is. Yeah, 20 of each rare ghost is not an easy task. Alright. I haven't checked. Yep, no, we're still at 96%. As I said, I'm guessing we aren't even going to get 1% from completing this entire quest line. We'll probably be able to get another 1% in the middle of, like, Ella's or something. But, like, you need so many quests to get 1%. It's not even really funny. Because you can unlock so many packs and vacs. Like, I bought, like, 7 or 8 packs or vacs last stream. And I got, like, 4% from those. And then I've done like 5 quests and gotten like 2% from those. So it goes to show like the wide variety of stuff that counts for game completion and what doesn't really count for game completion. Yeah, there are some quests that I'm glad I've already done for this stream. Like Shelly and Billy, I'm glad I've already done them. But there's some quests that it's going to be a pain to do. Actually, Backdoor is pretty much fine, I think. Yeah, it's mainly going to be Ghost World that's a pain. And we've already done half the quests in Ghost World that each already take an hour. Pretty much every single quest line in Ghost World is super unbalanced and takes like an hour to do. It's so weird. Like every other world has some sort of balance where it's like, yeah, a lot of quests are easier if you like get through the game. No, Ghost World's like, nope. you're going to be grinding every single quest for at least an hour, if not 2. Yeah, Jax, Shelly, even Leo and Yoko, which are the easier ones in Ghost World, they still take an hour each. Fern, like, obviously Gatekeeper isn't really a quest. I have this weird sense of, like, quests that I don't actually consider to be quests. For instance, like, every quest in the Void, I usually lump up as, like, one quest, even though there's, like, 40 quests. They're all one quest, in my opinion. Stuff like Gabe or Dylan's or stuff I wouldn't really consider a quest. Yeah, I have a weird organization thing where I would not consider a lot of quests actual quests. Oh, you got antenna level 27. Nice. Yeah, getting those antenna levels in Remnant World is a pain, I've heard. It was a pain even for me with, like, double drops and glitchy loot gun the entire time, so I'm sure, like, free to play, that area is a pain and a half to go through. Really the only saving grace for that is that you can grind, like, glitchy loot gum before you get there, just because it is after you rebirth, so you should have a decent supply of glitchy loot gum if you're playing the game smart. Which does require knowing how to play the game smart, which isn't as easy as it sounds. But yeah, the gum in general just makes the game a whole lot easier. Most of the passes, yeah. Okay, so it wasn't too bad, I'm assuming, to get up to level 27. Probably took you, like, 30 minutes of it. Or 15 to 30 minutes, I guess. Alright. 5 mummy ghosts. That's, like, pretty much exactly what my FPS is. Hopefully it doesn't stay that way, because otherwise then we'd be at 3 FPS, and then 2 FPS, and then we'd fall down to 0 FPS, and then probably crash, but... yeah. Yeah, it's funny, it used to be the case that, boss gun, boss, drops Game Pass didn't affect races, and then they added, useless boosted gums, and because they added boosted event drops, pretty much races became part of bosses, so all things that affected bosses affected races, and it was kind of interesting how that change was made. Because, like, when event gum came out, we're like, oh yeah, this would be different than boss gum because it affects races too. And nope, they just also made it so that boss gum affected races too. Also, it looks like we ought to complete the last quest, which is perfectly fine with me. And there we go. We are done with Rose, which is one more quest that we don't have to do anymore. Yep, paint pellet. And there we go. And let's see. Nope, still 96%. We did an entire quest without gaining a single percentage. Alright, yeah, next. This is actually our last quest, I think, to do in Main Hub. Oh no, we have to do Hans. Let's go do Hans really quick. I forgot about Hans last stream. I almost forgot about him this stream. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do him. He's a quick quest line. Will be a little bit of a relaxed time. Who actually uses boss gum on races? No one. Honestly, no one really uses boss gum on anything other than final boss at this point in the game. It's actually just not even worth it. To be honest, just because of how, how long and how, like, gum works in general. It basically allows you to do 3 times, or it basically allows you to do multiple bosses at a time is how I think of it. And so you can, in essence, using a glitchy boss gum on the final boss saves you 45 minutes because it gives you 3 additional boss defeats for 1 boss defeat. So each boss defeat takes 15 minutes. So it's basically a free 45 minutes. Whereas grinding a boss gum takes quite a bit of time too. So it doesn't really make sense if the time you're using to get a boss gum isn't less than what you're saving by using that boss gum to actually use that boss gum. So using it on like a bow boss, for example, where it takes about 3 minutes to defeat a bow boss, you're only saving 9 minutes if you use a glitchy boss gum, and it takes around 20 minutes to get the boss gum in the first place, and so you're just ending up losing 11 minutes. You're better off using that time you would have grinded for, time you would have used grinding for the glitchy boss gum to just go grind more bosses than actually grinding glitchy boss gum to use it. That's just theoretical math. Obviously, if you're grinding gum, you're getting more than just boss gum, so numbers are actually a little bit different depending on how that works. But in essence, that is kind of how the math works. I missed a Lucky Cat. Yeah, I did. It's in Junkyard. That's the thing about Lucky Cats. They aren't really useful to me at this point. Like, yeah, I can get a Lucky Cat or something from them. But, like, what's a Lucky Cat going to do when I have already these pets? Actually, have we leveled up yet? Are we at level 15? No, we're not quite at level 15 for these. But we are at level 3 and 5 for these, so that's nice. Yeah, it's been a slow process actually leveling up those classifieds. It takes a while. Yeah, Lucky... Did I say Junkyard or did I say Constructions? Yeah, I said Junkyard, didn't I? I get those two confused a lot, as I've already said, but... Yeah, Lucky Cat isn't super useful. Like, really the only thing I use it for is unboxing whatever I need gem stuff. But yeah, you only need like 5 or 6 for that, so... Anyways, you go use the gum machine. Mix. There we go. Alright. Collect 20 sheriff badges, 20 meteorites, and 20 gold bars. Actually, for this, I should probably go use a loot gum. Because I remember these items are a little bit harder to collect. And it helps if you only need to collect 1 item versus, like, 4. Will I ever go back to public server? If I need, like, bosses or races or something, I will teleport back to public servers. For the most part, though, when I'm, like, grinding ghosts and stuff, it's just much more effective for me to chill in a private server. No one to compete with. Makes grinding ghosts a whole lot easier. I still make an acorn pie with all those acorns. Yeah. I'm totally not just going to turn them all into a single gum or something like that. There we go. Thanks for all the ingredients. Nice. What? Oh, lag. I hate when you're lagging during these quest lines because it just takes like 5 years longer than it should to spam through these quest lines. And usually it's like you hit spacebar, it's instantly done. Alright, go jump through the red ring. Historically, I'm horrible at finding these rings. Like these random quests I never do. I'm usually pretty bad at finding these rings. But like, I think I've actually had to do that one recently for Luna's questline, so I knew where it was. But yeah, if I need to find like the orange ring in Ghost World, it's going to be good luck to me, to be honest. Try the basic bunny gum. Ugh. Stupid quest. No one likes basic bunny gum. Fine, we'll go use the basic bunny gum. There we go. How was it? Bouncing. Excellent. Thanks for all the research. Here, take your reward. Basic gem gum. The most useful gum, guys. I think we can all agree. Hammers, doubloons, our ancient tusks. Okay. I think we can all agree that basic gem gum is the most useful gum in the game. Like, there's no way that's not, like, top tier. Like, can you imagine just how good it is to get double gem drops from all the ghosts that you vacuum for 2 whole minutes? Like, that's just super useful. You can go from, like, getting 500 gems to getting 1,000 gems per ghost. It's more useful than loot gum. Yeah, exactly. It's even better than like Rift Gum because of how easy it is to get. In all honesty, though, like it's so stupid these rarities on items. I think, like, or gums specifically. Like half of the gums are useless, and then like the ones that are useful are just like randomly spread among the tiers. Like Uncommon's like one of the most useful gums, but there's a common that's sometimes also useful. There's a rare that's useful, and then like Legendary's useless. Godly, there's only one useful one. Yeah, it's kind of nice that there's one useful in like every tier except for Legendary. But at the same time, I'd much prefer it if there was like a little bit more order to how the things work. To be honest, I think the rarities that they have right now is actually good, but it's always kind of weird that uncommon, like, the rarity has nothing to do with how good of a gum it is. I think Gem Gum's probably the best example of this, where Gem Gum's just useless. But yeah. Honestly, I think it makes sense to have some of these gums that are actually useful common, just because they are so needed a lot. Whereas like stuff like boss gums, you don't need a whole lot of boss gums to make use out of it. Whereas like loot gum, if you're using it constantly, vacuum gum if you're using it constantly, X gum you use a little bit less than loot gum. It's kind of balanced in a good way for those like 4 gums. But like all other gums, it's just kind of funny how imbalanced it is. For example, Rift Gum. No one uses Rift Gum anymore, and yet it's super rare. It could honestly be as rare as a boss gum and probably get around, actually be slightly, I think it'd be a bit more balanced if it was like mythical. At this point, I think it makes some sense for it to be rare, with how good it can be. But like, honestly, I feel like if it was a little bit less rare, people would be willing to use it a bit more, which would actually make it a little bit more actually useful if people were willing to actually use it on like 100 loot bags instead of 4,000 loot bags. But yeah, I don't know. There's definitely a lot of balancing that can happen in gum. There we go. There's our hammers. Yeah, Nitro Loot. The problem with Nitro Loot Gum, it's rarer than Loot Gum, and it's pretty much just as good as Loot Gum. Like, I don't see any situation where I would prefer to use a Nitro Loot Gum over just a Loot Gum, because, like, it's pretty much the same. There you go. Oh, look, we got a basic Loot Gum. And there we go, we got a basic boss gum, and now I need to go to a boss and use this basic boss gum. Alright, we do have no, we have a Dino King spawn. We can just go do a Dino King, I think. But yeah. Yeah, Nitro Loot is worse. Like, there's no good reason to use Nitro Loot, I think. Like, really the only thing is if you're out of Loot Gum, and you really need to go use something, then go ahead, but yeah. Yeah, it makes it impossible to move. Maybe if you're using like basic loot gum, you might want to go use basic nitro loot gum before you get the turbo board hover charger. But like, that's the only reason, and it's so easy to get glitchy loot gum that there's no reason to use basic loot gum. That's my opinion. Yeah, it's actually really nice when you get lucky with those conversions. What did I say? Did I say something wrong? I'm trying to remember if I misspoke or something. Turbo Board Hover Charge. Yeah, the Turbo Board Hover. Oh, Turbo Board Hover. I see what I did. Oh, that's so. Oh man, I didn't even notice I said it that way. Also, we need to go use the gum now, or we should go use the gum before we forget. Use the basic boss gum. We will go use the basic boss gum. All right, yeah. Turbocharged hoverboard. There we go. Oh, that's so silly. Should you buy the 2x boss drops? Honestly, 2x boss drops is not as good as you think it is. Like the main use for 2x boss drops is use on event bosses. So unless you're like really planning on playing an event, or grinding final boss. So those are really the only two uses of double boss drops, because every other boss you're doing in Ghost Simulator really isn't giving you very good drops. So there's not really any reason to get double drops on it. Like boss chests are useless. Most loot bags are pretty much useless. There are a few good ones like Ghostly Vision stuff. But honestly, 2x boss drops super expensive, and then just not as good as some other game passes like 2x loot. 2x item drops, I don't know what it's called, double drops game pass is just so much better than 2x double drops is just so much better than 2x boss drops. So there's really no reason to buy, like, in my opinion, boss drops is lower tier than people think it is. I think it's overrated. But yeah, a lot of it depends on like what you're doing. Obviously, if you're grinding events, every event, then you're probably fine actually going and buying it, but yeah. Anyways, let's see. We are done with Hans. I need to go take a small break, I think, really quick. So, I will be back in a probably like a few minutes. I guess we'll go ahead and do this boss while we're waiting. But yeah, yeah. Hans gives the worst unlucky gum. Yeah, Hans's rewards are kind of mad. The only reason I'm doing it is game completion. Actually, let's talk, see, did we actually get any game completion from completing this quest line? Character? Nope, still 96%. Hopefully we can get 1% from doing Ella. We are an hour and 15 minutes into this stream so far, and we've completed 2 quests and gotten 0% game completion. But I guess that is to be expected. It is going to be like a 4-hour stream, and I'm expecting to only get 2%. So, quarter of the way, 0% does kind of make sense. Jazzy will take control. Yeah, I don't think Jazzy's getting out of bed. I don't know if you guys can. Yeah, there's no way I can actually show her to you guys, but yeah, she's sleeping right now, nice and asleep.
All right, we're back, and hopefully you guys weren't too crazy and shot while I was gone. Ooh, barbecue! Oh man, it's gonna make me hungry. That's hamburgers, bacon. Okay, I should stop thinking about food. Oh man, you're telling me my cat is that lazy? I gotta. I should go swap out and get a better cat then. Alright. Just making sure my cat didn't overhear that. Oh wait, we're not doing Dino, we are doing Ella. I always come up here to do Dino, so seeing a Dino, I pretty much default to do that. But yeah, no, it's... It would definitely have been helpful if the cat did like 2 or 3 quests while I was gone. For sure. That's probably expecting a little bit too much about something that meows at you in the middle of the night to give her attention, so yeah. Worcestershire? Yeah, no, I can't. I know that I should. I know that I've heard how to pronounce that word, but reading it, I can't pronounce it. Worcestershire. Yoko's boss quest needs a nerf. Yeah, I know a lot of people do get annoyed at Yoko's boss quests. Personally, I think it's a lot more balanced than some other quests, like, I don't know, going through back door. If you guys don't know, if you go through back door, like, as a max player, it takes around 15 to 20 minutes to get all the way through back door. Whereas if you're, like, a new player to the game, it takes, like, 8 hours or something ridiculous to get through that same area. And I think that's a bigger problem than the fact that Yoko's a little bit long. Yoko's long for everyone, and so it's kind of balanced in a way. Whereas like backdoor is just, it's a huge discrepancy. Worcestershire. 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 Lala. I don't know why, but Americans can't pronounce it. Because we're dumb. Or at least I am. Actually, honestly, I'm horrible at pronouncing everything. Ooh. Yeah, I pretty much pronounce stuff how it's read in a way. Like, so stuff like, explosion and stuff makes sense. I may be able to pronounce those fine. But then there's some words in the English language where it's pronounced a different way than like how the normal rules of like. There's a lot of stupid rules of the English language, so not pronounced the correct way is kind of interesting. I'm trying to think of an example recently. Ugh. I mispronounce a lot of stuff. Oh, for instance, Guinness, the Guinness Book of World Records. That word's when I was younger. Okay, this one's not anymore. I know how to pronounce it now. But I always thought that was genius because that was sort of how it was spelled. It was spelled very similar to genius, and I mean, it has a lot of the same letters, and so I always mispronounced that one. Yeah, there's a lot of words I do end up mispronouncing though, just because that's not how it's spelled. Xylophone makes sense. I know the X makes a Z sound. A rule in English, it's kind of fine. It's words like Guinness, where it's like random letter spam. It feels like, so you don't really know how it's pronounced unless you actually hear it pronounced. I'm Polish, so right and right are the same thing. I don't know other languages, stuff like that, but yeah. Where's the tiny tank for Reed? Tiny tank for Reed is by the UFO in Area 51. Yeah, that one, it's kind of hard. Right is like the direction road is in yes. Yep, we have 2 different rights. We have a lot of different stuff like that. Left, we have 2 different ones. We reuse the same word a lot, and no one cares. My only problem with the English language right now is the difference between then and than. THEN and THAN. I don't understand. Okay, I know there's a difference, and I could tell you what the difference is if I thought about it. Oh, this is a stupid quest. I hate when it requires this many ghosts from previous areas. I meandered over here just on accident. I'm somehow in the right place. But yeah, I don't understand why we have then and then, because I don't. Again, as I said, I know there's a difference, but I don't understand the difference really. And honestly, I think they should just be the same word because I will use them interchangeably. And it's a 50-50 whether or not I use the same one, because I pretty much always use the same one. Or whether or not it'll be the correct one, because I always use the same one. Like, I always use THEN, even when it's a than problem. So I'll say greater than when it's actually greater than, or THAN. And I think the joke recently, every time someone tries to correct me on it, I'll just say than instead. So greater than, because, you know, that's obviously incorrect, but like, yeah. According to Highest, Wild West is Area 51. Yes. Oh boy. Yes, it is. I made that mistake in the last stream too, quite a bit. Actually, I think I even made that mistake in my NPC video. I don't know what it is, but Area 51 and Wild West are pretty much the same thing. I will call Wild West Desert most of the time, just because I don't remember. It's too complicated of a name for me to remember. Desert's so much simpler and easier to remember. But yeah, Area 51 is usually the name I go to. Just because, I guess, yeah, I don't know why, but it is what happens. Same thing with like median construction site and junkyard mixed up. I don't really remember which one is which. But yeah. We do actually have Morrow Day, I think, which is actually legitimately the day after tomorrow. But yeah, no one uses it. We all just say the day after tomorrow, because like everyone will understand that. Not everyone will understand Morrow Day. Yeah, honestly, it's one of those things where it's like, why make up another word for something? If you can just use a phrase that everyone understands for the same effect. Yeah, it's funny. Like, there's 4 removed ghosts from Ghost and Lair at this point. There's 3 that are all removed from Area 51, and then 1 that's removed from the underwater section. And honestly, no one's really noticed. Like, Area 51's the biggest effect, and honestly, very few people actually go through there. It's mostly affecting new players who aren't going to be able to complain because they never know it's missing. So we just kind of ignore it. Yeah, there used to be, so there's an area on the bow of the, whatever. On one end of the ship that's broken, there's a pair of ghosts that spawn. There actually used to be a 3rd ghost there that also spawned. But it was removed for some reason. I'm guessing it was removed because it always fell off or something, even though the other 2 always fell off. And so it was kind of weird spacing something or another. But yeah. Yeah, there used to be another ghost there, which by removing it, they make it harder to go through underwater area. Oh, this quest line has 21 quests. Oh. Okay, I just noticed how long this quest line is. Lovely. Oh. 3 bosses. Yeah, I'm starting to see why people don't like second arc quest lines. Ella's the reason why. We are 3 quests into her, and we already have to do 3 bosses. This is pretty much Yoko's levels of insanity. Use boss fade. I'll probably switch over to public servers. There'll probably be a Dino King there, and then I'll probably use boss bait for the final one. But yeah, there's not really a reason if you need more than 1 boss to use event bait, in my opinion. Because you're probably going to have to server hop anyways to find the second one. Otherwise, you're going to have to use like 3 event bait minimum, maybe even 4 if the next one's a race. And so it's just so much more convenient just to server hop. Use boss bait? I mean, event bait. Yeah, event bait. Okay, a lot of the old players in Ghost Simulator, like pretty much everyone will make that boss bait mistake like a lot of the time. And it's normal. I use it. I make that mistake quite often. It's normal. Nah, man, Yoko's like 20 total bosses. Yeah, but this is quest 3. We are going to get at least 1 more boss quest for this entire quest line, for sure. And honestly, Yoko is 537, I think. No. 465? 365? Yeah, Yoko's only like 15 total bosses, if I remember correctly. 576? 675? I don't remember. But whatever the case is, it's not quite 20. But yeah, this is only 3 bosses for now, but yeah. Oh yeah, races are actually, honestly, races aren't that bad for gems in some respects. If you have a Rift Gum, you can use Rift Gum and Race Loot Bags and get a few gems. It's not as good as the bosses with the addition of the bigger packs from like Main Hub on or from Remnant World. but it's actually not horrible. It's pretty much on par with Jolly Roger and Mini Anonymous for those loot bags to gem conversions if you're using Rift Gum, so yeah. Don't get me started on gem chests. Those things have been useless since the game came out. I remember playing this game and I'm like, ooh, gem chests. I'm like, oh, I forgot to collect my gem chests, and I would go around and collect them. And I'm looking back at that like now, I'm like, yeah, that was like, what was I thinking? It wasn't even worth the time to go collect them. I'm better off just going and, whatever. There should be a quest to get 1 trillion gems. Yeah, the funny thing about 1 trillion gems, it's actually not that hard for endgame people to get. Because of how, like, rebirth stack, it's actually... You start acquiring a lot more gems the more rebirths you get, so... There's, I think, easily, like, 5, 6, 10 people that have gotten up to 1 trillion gems on their account at one time. I know I'm personally chilling at a nice, like, 200 or something billion over top... No, 100 billion over... 200 billion? Who do I think I am? No, I'm chilling at 100 billion. And I'm... Compare me to, like, leaderboard players, I'm, like, a tenth of, like, the middle global leaderboard players. So you can easily see how a lot of them have trillions of gems because they have a better gem multiplier and they've grinded so many more bosses. End quest. Yeah, no one cares about A and An unless you're writing a research paper. That's the thing about, like, grammar, in my opinion. Like, okay, I probably should not. There are some things where it's like, if they understand what you mean, it's fine. And then there's, like, some cases where people just get super annoyed. I know I get super annoyed at some stupid grammar mistakes, and it's like, yeah, it's fine. And then I'm like, why are you getting super annoyed at my stupid grammar mistakes? And it's like the same thing back and forth. And I'm like, yeah, maybe I should not care as much about grammar mistakes if I don't want other people to care about my grammar mistakes. But it's so weird because I know I shouldn't care, but I still do care about some silly grammar mistakes. I think the biggest one that really annoys me is okay, we're gonna be server hopping. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but like so often young, usually kids and like Roblox servers, Discord servers, people will spell any E-N-Y and it's just super annoying because it's a 3-letter word and they aren't spelling it correctly. That's the one that ticks me off the most. Every single time I see that, I have to stop myself from going on a rant about how I get super annoyed about that one small tiny mistake. And same thing with like Goldies. Like people will say Goldie instead of Godly, and it's like my brain hurts. I think we clicked on low quality funnily enough. Anyways, there should be a Dino King spawn somewhere. If there isn't, that's strange, but yeah. Is there no Dino King? Is there seriously no Dino King? Like 90% of the servers you jump into have a Dino King. Ah, fine. Yeah, there. I think they should just be universal. Everyone will just say there instead of there or they are. I don't see any problem with that. I make that mistake like 9 times out of 10, to be honest. And yet I still get annoyed when people do where and were, get those two mixed up. Because they're pronounced or they're spelled and pronounced how they're spelt, and they're both kind of different. Like I will spell stuff how I pronounce them. So if I'm pronouncing were or where, I'll usually spell it correctly. But sometimes This is a funny thing. When I'm like chatting in like Discord or something where I'm typing, my thought process and my typing is super connected. So I will spell a word that's like similarly pronounced to a word. And it's not just because I mistyped the word I was trying to spell. Yeah, there's not even a reason for me to use XCOM, guys, to be honest. It's stupid. Like, even with this, I'm getting, what, like 10 million gems per... So I would... Okay, actually, 80 million. Okay, I would have gone up to... I would have gotten up to like 320. Is it actually effective for me to grind gems in Ghost World? It shouldn't be. Can't be, right? I have 11 Ecto Token Tycoons. I shouldn't be able to just go ahead and grind ghosts in Ghost World to get the same amount of gems pretty much. Yeah, the funny thing... The funny thing there is... you actually have "they're" correct. "They are" is wrong, but never... "They're" is never used. That's a weird sentence. I'm not going to even think about it. Alright, find egg... L is egg hunt egg in the main hub. Alright guys, we're now going on an egg hunt. We might actually be here for a while, so yeah, I would yeah, we might be here for a while. I don't know where this item is. Ooh, is that a lucky cat? In a different spot? I'll perpetuate the cycle. Under the bridge in Block City. Yep, that would do it. Yeah, a lot of these quests I have no idea where the find items are. Like, I got lucky with reeds. But yeah. There's a limit of the currency you can have? No, there's no limit really to the amount of currency you can have. Give you a reward for that. You're too kind. Oh, look, crate key. Oh, you just got Ghostly Vision. Yeah, Ghostly Vision is actually a pretty good perk. Especially for like doing boss quests. Like, I can't tell you the amount of time that's been saved because why is this quest so slow? Just let me spam through it again. Alright. I can't tell you the amount of time I have saved from being able to use Ghostly Vision bosses instead of other bosses for boss quests. It's such a big lifesaver, to be honest. Egg was for a read? Yeah, I agree that there's some find items where it's like, oh, is this I think the special one was the biggest situation this was Adam's phone. Or it's now called Adam's walkie-talkie in the junkyard. But it used to be called Adam's phone, and okay, not everyone, but a lot of people were thinking that Luna's fragment that was there was Adam's phone, because if you guys look at it, I don't know why I'm going the long way around. This looks a lot more like a phone people are used to than this. And this one used to be tucked under the ramp a bit more. So people were pretty much like, why isn't this working? I'm touching Adam's phone. Why isn't it collecting? It's broken. Yeah, it was a long issue in Ghost Simulator. Oh, I don't need these ghosts. I need the ones down here. But yeah, it's not the first time someone would be confused on a find item quest. Yep, there is a lot of quests that like that where it's like, oh, like it gets especially confusing if you like very rarely do a quest. So you don't even remember what find item they require. So you're just like, yeah. Someone asks like, oh, where is this find item? And you're like, no idea, but you've shout out some random place. And they're like, no, it's not there. And you're like, pretty sure there's a find item there, and it's just the wrong find item. But yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's a Game Boy. I think it's, I'm pretty sure Archie asked for the Game Boy. Yeah, I don't even know, honestly, on quest lines, but yeah. I remember the Adam thing. Oh, I remember devs changed the place of Jesse's boot. Yeah, no one was able to find Jesse's boot. It was actually in a really hidden spot because it was behind the entrance from sewer to Area 51, Wild West. No one was like, no one checked there. No one even really considered to look there. And I remember seeing so many complaints about that. I'm like, I don't remember if I think I struggled with it myself too, but I don't know for certain. It's kind of funny. It's really funny how the game has changed over the years. Sometimes good funny, sometimes it's like bad funny, like oh yeah, when they change the stats of like limited items, yeah, that's stupid. I remember that being the first place you looked. Yeah, you're one of the rare ones in that I've actually found that pretty quick. I remember seeing multiple people being like, I've looked everywhere, where is this stupid boot? And it wasn't like one person, it was like every other person was complaining about it. We'll never know why the devs have put their notes in the obbies. Actually, the notes were originally put there because like Luna was getting onto the devs onto someone that there was a problem with like how the world was working. So they placed some notes to like distract her. But Blaze ended up like swapping them out for his own notes, I think is actually how canonically it goes. So I think the notes were placed there to distract an NPC, and for some other reason, some other NPC was able to put their own notes there. And so that's why there are notes there rather than, yeah. But yeah, I agree. There's some like interesting things like, how did some holes in like the whole thing, like why was that have to be explained by like, it's a game. Yeah, for instance, like why was Blaze making a portal in the first place? Like really the only explanation to that was because it's part of the game story is that he was making a portal in the first place. There really wasn't any reason. Maybe because he's a scientist and wanted to figure out where, but like in the first place, like I'm pretty sure because he created portals, he brought ghosts in the first place. It's like, it's this whole thing where it's like, because he did this, sort of logic, where it's not really any explanation other than it's part of the game lore is why that happened. But yeah. Oh, that's actually an insane amount of gum. That's like 10% of your gums being actual useful gums. Okay. Dude, I need the ghost. You can have Zords. Hacker? Hopefully you guys know enough about my stream at this point to know that this is a commonplace occurrence in Ghost Simulator. Like, I've done this myself. I think I should probably explain before y'all go on the hacker tangent, or anyone unfamiliar with Ghost Simulator thinks that this is actually hacker. That this is just someone using an auto clicker to mass unbox, which is allowed in Ghost Simulator. And I've done it personally, and you are allowed to do it on your own account. But yeah. Hacker. I should probably shouldn't say stuff like that in chat, because it contributes a lot to the I know not everyone's aware that that's actually allowed. Yeah, I don't want to be spreading misinformation even on accident. Yeah, I know most people, I know most people play the game know what it is, but I also know that not every person that will be seeing this, will know what it means. I know there's a small chance there is some new player watching or in the server that has no idea what it means, and I don't want them to be confused thinking this YouTuber actually thinks this person's actually a hacker. Because I know when I say stuff as a YouTuber, it gets a little bit more weight from random people than if just someone random says it. So yeah, I do want to be careful about that. Yeah, mostly, yeah, you do see it a lot in Backdoor and Remnant World. Used to at least see it a lot in Backdoor. I don't know if you see it a lot anymore. I don't know if people actually unboxing stuff for Cosmic Wings. Because, like, on one hand, it's like, no, now that Sandstorm's down, everyone's moved on to Sandstorm. But at, like, the same time, Sandstorm's a bit more expensive than Cosmic Wing, and, like, Cosmic Wing will be, like, a bridge to get to Sandstorm, so you might still need to unbox for, like, Cosmic Wing if you're trying to get for Sandstorm later. Let's see, what percent am I on? Still at 96%. Hopefully we can get up to 98% by the end of the day. With the progression we've done so far, maybe not. But like I'm expecting like around like quest like 13 or 14 of this, we should be able to get another 1%. Should. Yeah, there's so few of the extra worlds, because pretty much all new players will be in like Main Hub or Ghost World, but, ooh, there's a lucky cat, but like, pretty much all the old players will also be in Main Hub and Ghost World too, because, that's pretty much the best place to grind for gems, so it's kind of funny that both old players and new players are always in like the same worlds, and then all the other worlds are just like, no one's in there. It's good in some respects because it means that new players have a little bit more players that they see on a regular basis and aren't like joining a dead game in some respects, so they can be like, oh, look at all these good players, I can be there one day. On the other hand, it's kind of hard because then it's like once players actually get like up a little bit, they're like, oh, why is there no one in Backdoor? Yeah, I've been on 96% for a while now. Actually, it's 2 hours now? Wow, okay. Streamed for 2 hours and we've been on 96% since then. But yeah, as I said at the beginning of the stream, a lot, the quests are the longest portion of getting your game completion percent up. So it kind of makes sense that we aren't getting too much. It would be faster if we were like buying more packs or stuff like that, like we did in the first stream. But we don't have any more of those to buy, so we are actually just stuck on the slow parts. That's not what happens. They just beg for free stuff. Yeah, that's also... Honestly, I think that's more of just the vocal minority playing out more. Like, I've been in this server for a long time. My inventory's always on and no one's begging me for anything. It's just people notice when they're begging rather than when they aren't begging. So, most players don't beg for free pets. But the ones that do, you notice a lot more than the ones that don't. So, it's an observation bias thing. It's a very common bias that actually is kind of normal, and I think it's fine. I don't think it's actually fine, but I think it is fine. I don't think it's actually fine in other, like, a biased point of view, but personally I think it's fine. But yeah. Anyways. 30 diver ghosts. This is actually a long quest. Again, not as bad as some other quests, so I'm not going to complain too much. But, like, maybe Ellis should be a little bit quicker than a 2.5 hour quest line. It's not 2.5 hours. This is probably going to take us like an hour and a half at most. Actually, when did I start this quest line? Because I believe I started at like 10:30. I don't actually know, but I believe I did, but yeah. Also, at some point, we have like 700 million, yep, that's the correct number, gems worth of, wait, is it, no, is it, it's 7 billion. 7 billion gems worth of, I'm like, 700 million, that's not a lot. No, we have 700 million, 7 billion. Whatever. We have a lot of Ecto tokens that we can convert into gems at some point soon. There we go. That's how that sentence should have been structured. It's also interesting that I've actually gotten a decent amount of gems from like other sources. Like I got like 80 gems from one boss in Ghost World, which pretty much means that if I use like a Axcum, I can actually get like 320 million gems per boss in Ghost World, which seems a bit high. Yeah, that seems a bit high. There's no way that's actually the case. I don't know, maybe I'll have to test that later to see if I'm actually able to get 320 million gems per boss in Ghost World. Because if that's the case, that's kind of weird, the fact that I have 330% Ecto Token Tycoons. And I'm still able to get pretty much the same amount. I'm assuming that that'd be some sort of... something weird's going on there, if that's the case. Yeah, I mean... I personally think people beg a little bit too much in Ghost Simulator. Like, pets actually do very little to your overall game progression. Yeah, at the beginning, it's kind of, you are kind of vacuuming ghosts slowly, but like, if you enter like one code pet like 2 years, you're pretty much able to one-shot ghosts up until like middle of backdoor pretty easily, with just that one pet. And so like, once you get like something like Ghostly Dutchman or Adam even, you're pretty much set for like the entirety of Ghost Simulator. So the amount of begging that goes on, I think, is a little bit extreme. I think maybe players should tone down that a little bit. Anyways, let's go grab that boss really quick, because, I mean, it's like a free few gems, so why not? It's going to be at like 20%, and we're just going... Oh, it's 50. Why is that thing on 50%? Oh, lovely. Yeah, this quest isn't going to take too long. Only like, what, 5 hours? It's interesting. Sometimes people collect the weirdest stuff in Ghost Simulator. Alright, let's go grab the boss now. I see. Oh. Whoops. Well, we missed that boss. Yeah, at some point I actually need to go unbox a Prism at some point. I was reminded that because I saw Sunny in their inventory. But yeah, recently I traded Sandstorm and Prism for a Grimm's Portal, which it's actually a pretty equal trade, I think. Sandstorm I personally think is worth less than Grimm's Portal because it has like Prism in it. Prism's another classified, and pretty much all classifieds are worth the same amount, so it's 2 classifieds for Grimm's Portal. I personally think Grimm's Portal is worth more, but at the same time, like, you're getting stats and something you want. Prism's like one of the higher demand classifieds. You don't have to unbox for this classifieds. I don't know. But because of that, I am actually out of a Prism at this point, so I do need to go spend some time unboxing for a Prism, which is very unfortunate because, if you guys don't know, I'd much rather be unboxing for a Sandstorm than a Prism, just because it will take the same amount of gum and same amount of time for me to unbox for either of those, and I might as well go for something that's worth a little bit more, but yeah. I'm trying to follow this conversation. I don't think I'm following it correctly because whatever they're referring to, okay, never mind. I think I know what's going on. One of the interesting things that I think a lot of new players fall into is when you have stats on a pet, most people see this big number and then this small number and usually just compare stats based on that first number, which is usually fine because they usually scale together. But very occasionally, there are pets, let's see if we have some, where, okay, like Mini Dutchman, I think, yeah, whereas this one, okay, no, that's not a good example, because Mini Final is just better. Yeah, but occasionally you have people and they're like, oh, this first stat is more, but this second stat's less. What you really should be using to like calculate like which pet's the best is the second stat, which is kind of why you're better off organize your inventory by Ecto Token boost rather than vacuum rate boost. Like, okay, right now it doesn't matter. But yeah, if you organize by this, you can see that like Mini Final is actually better than Mini King. Just because like vacuum rate, once you get beyond like Atom, it's pretty much useless to have better vacuum rate, so you're better off just going for your Ecto Token at that point. Which is kind of funny because that does mean like pets like Christmas Spirit, even though it has a much worse, let's see, let's find that again. Even though Christmas Spirit has much worse vacuum stats than something like Aurora, it's actually slightly better. I think Christmas Spirit and the other one that has the same stats as this is probably the best example of that, but yeah, it's kind of funny how wide of a variety there can be there and that. Yo, any tips to get good pets like dev pets? Actually, yeah. If you haven't rebirthed yet, you can actually grind for Lucky Cats, which have the same stats as like Mini King, before you rebirth. You can get like 1 every hour or something, and they have like insanely good stats. And if you get, okay, you can grind, I have a video on how to do it, but basically if you get the overcharge ability from Rowan, you can actually overcharge the Lucky Cat before you get the Lucky Cat rebirth perk. And so by that, you can actually grind for some of the best pets in the game, very easily before you even get your first rebirth. As I said, they have the same stats as Mini King, which is, as you can see, they're still first page. They'd still be first page on my stat inventory, even though I do have some insanely good classified pets and divine and stuff like that. They're just a really good stat pet, and yeah, I don't know what else to say. They're pretty easy to grind for, and honestly are super good in stats for how 6 rebirths, 2 of the pets, rest 3 of the top ones like Lucky and Boxy, but now I'm at Ghostly. Start. Oh, okay, so you already have rebirth pets, so now you're okay. So you have 2 divines and 3 of the Lucky Cats / Mini Kings and stuff. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, at that point then, what you want to be doing is how many are you at Remnant World? And if you're at Remnant World, do you have the biggest pack? Because once you get divines and ghostly vision stuff, your next goal is going to be stuff like Cosmic Wings, and then Sandstorms. Right now, you're pretty much, that's your only improvement, is going for stuff like Cosmic Wing and Sandstorm. So it's going to be pretty much however much gems you get from boss. So collect a boss, it fills your backpack, and then you sell that pack with Glitchy X Gum, and that will be your main source of gems for getting those classifieds. So yeah, however much gems you get from a biggest pack in Remnant World will be a good gauge of what you need to do next. If you're getting like 200 or 300 million per bag in from each main hub or Ghost World boss, with the biggest pack in Remnant World, you're probably good to go just grind those and then work on getting stuff in like Sandstorm or Coswing. But if you're getting like 40 million or 50 million or something like that, with X-Gum, with your best pets, with the biggest pack, you're going to need to go ahead and grind for some Tycoons from Rebirths, and then repeat that process once you have like 4 or 5 Tycoons. But yeah. The funny thing about that trade is that, in theory, both sides are winning. There are some trades in Ghost Simulator where both sides technically win. For instance, if you're looking for like Atom stuff, Atoms, pretty much everyone has an Atom. It's pretty easy to get. You get it every single rebirth. So it's a really good. It's a relatively good stat pet, and it's pretty much only useful for its stats for people. And so, like, trading it for higher stats is pretty much always a win no matter where you're at. But because you can only get it once every rebirth, if you aren't going to be rebirthing and you want to get like 100 or 1,000 atoms, you can actually benefit from trading stuff that you can get an infinite amount of with one rebirth. So like Lucky Cat or stuff like that for Atom, if you're just trying to collect Atom for some stupid reason. And it could technically be a win-win situation for both sides. And I find that hilarious because same thing can be applied to stuff like Wisp, Blaze's pet and board, Jax's pet and board. You can make an argument to actually trade for those using like ridiculous stat pets, even if they are just stat pets themselves, just because you can only get it like once a rebirth and they're a pain to get and stuff like that. Ooh, look, another Lucky Cat. Yeah, there's a lot of... Okay, I think we're going to probably have to go back to a private server really quick because people are needing these ghosts, so I don't want to be in their way. Grim Portal for Sandstorm. I don't know if that's an L or dub. And honestly, I would personally consider. I've said this before recently too. I personally consider Grim's Portal worth more than Sandstorm, but because of the stats, like honestly, it's anyone's guess. Right now, it's anyone's guess which one's worth more, Grim's Portal or Sandstorm. I personally would say Grim's Portal's worth more, but because of the stats and how much more hyped Sandstorm is, you can make an argument for Sandstorm being worth more. I think long term, even long term, like, I don't know. Because, like, classifieds, the things about classifieds is they're still hard to unbox, even if no one unboxes for them. Or they aren't good stat-wise. People will still consider a classified to be good. Like, Rainwave is still kind of rare. It's pretty much just, it's probably rarer than Sandstorm, to be honest. But it's pretty much, it's worth a lot less than Sandstorm. But, like, it's still worth quite a bit, and people will trade for Rainwave still. Just because it is so hard to unbox one yourself, but yeah. Yeah. And honestly, like, look at Cosmic Wing. Like, once pretty much anyone could unbox Cosmic Wing, it dropped a lot. Once Sandstorm came out, Cosmic Wing dropped a lot. But, like, it's still worth a decent amount. No one's, like, specifically looking to trade for Cosmic Wing. But, like, you can definitely trade Cosmic Wing for a limited or something. If someone wants to get good stat pets. It's weird. I'm not going to be joining any other people's private servers. Right now I'm working on getting progression in Ghost Simulator. I'm not going to be going on random goose chases for like donating pets or doing trades or stuff like that. Actually, yeah, eventually we will have to do goose chase. Is for those for trading and stuff for this game completion percent, but right now I think it makes the most sense for me to stay in this current server and just work on getting Ella's quest done because yeah. Yeah, actually, my server is available. If you go look on like the Discord server, I posted my private server there, like for anyone to join if they wanted to. So you can actually find the link to join my private server if you look ish. It's not easy to find, but like it's not too hard to find either. If you just look up from highest contains VIP server or whatever, private server, whatever the hyperlink includes, you can usually find it. Your account's under 30. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so you don't have Discord. That makes sense. Let's see. Yeah, don't join Discord if you're under 13. There's a reason they have those rules in place. Yeah. I don't know. I like how private servers work in Ghost Simulator, but at the same time, I don't like how private servers work in Ghost Simulator. On one hand, it's really nice to be able to use anyone's private server and just server hop and then be in your own solo server. But it's a pain if you want to do something like a game night or something in like Ghost World or Backdoor or something, and you just can't. I know for most people it's not an issue because no one's really doing that, but if I wanted to do like hide and go seek for some special event for like YouTube or something, I'm not able to do that, which it's a very niche case. But if you wanted to do like Final Boss with friends or stuff, you have to do it in a public server, which is kind of a pain. Yeah, there's some scenarios. It's one of those things where it's private servers work interesting in Ghost Simulator. I don't know what would be a good way to do it, but yeah. I have Discord, but I'm 12. Well, yeah, it's a good thing I don't know what your username is off the top of my head. You probably shouldn't go around saying that you have Discord or are under 12 because there is kind of some strict policies on being 13. I don't know why I went and sold. I get 0 gems per sell. Discord has kind of a strict policy on you have to be over 13 because of some privacy reasons. And so you can get banned pretty easily if you are sharing too much of that information. If you do say, even as a joke, that you're under 12, you can get banned. Yeah, guys, I was already like, I had no idea where I was going. I was just kind of parachuting for the fun of it, and then I realized I actually needed to go complete that obby. Which was kind of lucky, but yeah. Yeah, it is actually kind of funny how people under 13 can't change their age on Roblox. I know a few people every once in a while, oh, I accidentally set my age incorrectly, and now I can't change it. I'm glad I never was trolling around like that on my Roblox account. So it is my actual age, so I don't have to worry about any of those problems. But like, I understand where that problem arises. It is kind of it is annoying and definitely a problem. Actually, funny thing is, my Roblox account is almost 13 years old in itself. It's like 10 years old. In about a month, it's going to be turning, my Roblox account will be 10 years old. So I don't think anyone will be being like, this account is owned by someone under 13 if the account itself is more than 13 years old. The account itself is old enough to create an account that's old enough. No, I'm not adding people right now. I don't usually add people from like Ghost Simulator or really from YouTube either. The problem is if I add like one person that asks from like YouTube or something like that, a lot more people will ask, and I don't have infinite like friend slots or anything like that. Nor do I want people to be complaining like, oh, you added this person but you didn't add me. It creates this whole problem where it's like, I add someone else is going to complain. I'm going to be forced to add them. Not really forced, but like, I'm going to have to add them to not appear like rude or anything like that. It creates a cycle. I don't want to go into that cycle right now, so I just usually do a blanket no to anyone that has to be my friend, and from usually YouTube, from Ghost Simulator in game. If I'm not streaming, it's a little bit less strict. Usually the YouTuber names, though, it's like people just randomly ask, and I'm like, nah, sorry. But yeah. Heist is a 10-year-old confirmed. Yes, I created this account when I was 0 years old on 0 years old. That's totally how I totally knew how to use the internet, how to create an account, how to email, all that fun stuff. To set up a Roblox account. Actually, you don't need an email, I guess, but yeah. Yeah, I have a 10-minute there's a 10-minute cooldown from when you join my Discord and when you're allowed to like send messages or see messages or stuff. I don't know why it says just nothing's loading in it. Usually there's a message that appears like, oh yeah, you have to wait 10 minutes before you can actually chat in this Discord. But yeah, in 10 minutes you'll be able to. I have that set up usually just to prevent like people like joining and then like spamming or something. It just creates a little bit of a buffer time between people joining and then being able to do something stupid. It lowers the amount of split-second decisions where someone's like, oh yeah, I'll just join this and troll. I don't know if it's really needed. I don't think I've had anyone trolling, but at the same time, 10 minutes. I think if you guys are still chatting after 10 minutes, I think that makes sense. But yeah. Yeah, you can send links in my Discord. I think really the only thing not allowed is sending like invite links. I think that's kind of the only link that'd get banned, or a link to like obviously not safe for work websites or anything like that that's not PG. I am a PG channel, so I do try to. My Discord is also PG, so yeah, bear that in mind. But like, private server links are fine. Links to like games that you enjoy or something like that. I don't know. Honestly, I might have the settings misconfigured, so that is actually banning links. But if that's the case, I'll probably just change them. But yeah, for the most part, you're allowed to do anything. Yeah, you can send your own VIP server link. Just don't complain with other random people join it, because, yeah, other random people are going to join your private server link if you send a private server link in a public area. Oh, here? Oh, yeah, you can go ahead and send a private server link here. I don't think anyone will click on it, but, I know I personally won't because I have my own private server and I don't really like using other people's. I don't really see the purpose in it. For the most part, I'm better off just using my own. Alright, we are just over 50% of the way through this quest, which is... Oh man, this quest is slow. Like, I know I was going through Morgan, and I'm like, oh, Morgan's quest is going to be so long, and then Morgan's quests were actually kind of easy. No, this is the second arc that I remember, where each quest is a pain. They take 2.5 hours to complete, but yeah. Yeah, no, it's definitely always a reminder when you start doing some quests, that they aren't actually as hard as I remember, or as hard as you remember, and this is definitely one of the ones where it is as hard as I remember. Actually, I think the only quest that I've done recently where it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be was Luna. Like, Luna is actually ridiculously easy. It's 30 minutes, so it's not like short. But like, it's not like the hour or hour and a half journey that like Blaze or any really of the other long quest lines have been. It's almost been 3 hours. Yeah, it's been about 2.5 hours since I started this stream. We have gone through 2 quest lines, although one, like Hans, I don't know if you guys want to count Hans. So maybe just 1.5 quests. But yeah, it's not too bad of progress. I think we're getting close to getting another 1%. So the idea was to get 2% this stream. So all that really, since I am planning on streaming for 5 hours, if we can get 1% at the 2.5 hour mark, we should be able to get another one at the 5 hour mark, hopefully. But yeah, I did not realize that there were ARC NPCs. Yeah, they're called second ARC NPCs. They're more of rebirth NPCs now because you get it whenever you do rebirth. But yeah, they're pretty much NPCs that only appear once you do get a rebirth in Ghost Simulator. Stuff like Ikari, stuff like Morgan, Rose. Yeah. Wait, why is this ring purple? Is that just me, or is this ring purple, guys? Is it a trick of the light with the green underline? I don't know. That ring looks purple to me. Whatever. We just need to go vacuum some ghosts. We don't have time for questioning whether or not a gray ring is gray or purple. Can I go into the party room in the city? Yeah, sure. It might take some time, but I can. I can. You can't actually get in there since the door is locked, even if you have both the keys. None of the keys actually unlock that door anymore. So yeah, let me go show you what I mean. What do you reckon the next weekend event will be tomorrow? Double drops, double gems, etc. I'd hope that they wouldn't have a double drops event. Yeah, let's go ahead and get over there really quick. Not quite. Can I get myself out? I would hope there wouldn't be. I don't think every event they need to have a double event weekend or something like that. I'd rather have them make those actually kind of rarer. But okay, I guess we aren't going through the floor. What's my opinion on them removing the second arc rebirth perk? I think that change was a good change. I think making it apply to anyone who's ever rebirthed is just it makes it a lot easier to choose like a good rebirth perk instead of being like, oh, do I want to care about lore or do I just not care about lore? But yeah, you can't get in there normally, but if you do some weird stuff, you can actually get yourself glitched in there. I'm trying. It takes a while. But yeah, I think it was good so that everyone can go explore the new lore and stuff. I think lore's a big enough part that makes sense that it should be that easy to access. I think having people be able to choose not to do it was kind of a mistake in the first place. So yeah, it was a good change in my opinion. We'll eventually get in there. I lost a rebirth perk to it. Yeah, you got 100 crate keys in compensation, so you didn't really like lose it. You still have the you got this plus 100 crate keys rebirth, the key hack back. It was the best refund they could have given. I mean, other than maybe choose. Okay, we're just lagging too much. We can't actually get into this room, but you can glitch into the room through the top of it. It looks how it looked like during the last event. Yeah, not too much to talk about. Let's go actually do some quests again. Video game device in the volcano. Yeah, you can actually get into there. The door isn't unlockable, but you can get into there. There is no NPC in there. The rooms are still there, but they aren't interactable. Let's see what else. Yeah, I think that's it. There's actually still that room with like the ram symbol in it, so yeah. Wow, 100 crate keys. Actually, 100 crate keys isn't the least useful rebirth perk. If they defaulted it to like Pet Evo, okay, Pet Evo would have been fine to be honest. But if like they defaulted it to like the increased vacuum things, I think everyone would have been annoyed because that one's actually useless. But 100 crate keys, like, it's not too bad to be honest. You can go unbox for Classified in the Void if you want to. If you get lucky, you could actually get one. Lucky cat. But yeah. Yeah, I understand that some people are annoyed that they weren't able to pick like a Tycoon or Pet Evo or whatever they wanted to from it. But honestly, 100 crate keys, I wouldn't complain about it personally. Better than, yeah, it's better than accelerated parts. Get some gems, gems. Lovely. All right. We can get some gems for you. Just a second. Got crate keys. Maybe it'll be a better reward. 35,000 gems. I wanted to get one of every rebirth pet perk, and it was honestly painful to click vacuum parts. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it, even if you're going for all of them. I would say just pretend it doesn't exist. And that way you can say you have all of them, and then when people ask you whether or not you have it, you can just ask, wait, that's a perk? Just feign ignorance. But yeah, I do know that people would have preferred to be able to pick whatever one instead of second arcs. I just don't think that would have been feasible in terms of like a coding perspective. It would have taken way too long to code and would have affected like, I don't know. Would have been such a small change. I don't know that it would have affected too many people. Or, okay, I don't think it would have been it would have affected people. I don't think it would have been worth the investment to actually do it though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, another lucky cat. So you guys probably noticed there that we had to unbox 3 hoverboard crates, but we got away with just unboxing 2 because I have spam clicking. Occasionally, if you spam click hard enough, you can unbox 2 boxes at a time. All right, there we go, 3 crate keys. Wait, are these last quests just going to be like fast paced? Because like, is this one front loaded with horrible quest lines and then the rest of them just super easy? I don't think that was how it was, but maybe it is, and maybe I can actually stop complaining about it now. If all the quests are going to actually be easy. I take that back. These quests are awful. Alright, for sure we have another percent now. For sure. Still at 96%. Wow. What's going to happen is I'm going to end up doing every single quest and gain a single percentage from it, and it's going to be required because that was like, otherwise I would be missing that 1 percentage. But like, it really goes to show just how much like percentage is front loaded in Ghost Simulator. Like pretty much anyone can get up to 50% in like 10 hours of gameplay. Okay, maybe not 10 hours. You do need a rebirth and probably buy all the packs from Remnant World. But like, you can really easily get like the first 80% game completion in Ghost Simulator. It's just that like last 20% will take like 3 times longer than the first 80%. Which is just silly. Yeah, for real. You do the first quest line in the game, and you're already up to 99%. Not quite, but like some of those quests are just insane. How much quests, or not quests, but like some of those early stuff that you do just give an insane amount of game completion. This quest is going to be so fast and easy. 5 minutes later, crying. Yeah, I don't think I said this about this one. I said maybe it was going to be all front loaded so that all these back quests are just instant completes, but I spoke way too soon on that one. At least it doesn't seem to be like Rose, where every other quest that required ghosts required me to go back and grab like 50 of other ghosts from the previous areas along with 50 of the current ghosts. It's more of either grabbing 40 ghosts from previous areas or grabbing 40 ghosts of the newest area, which honestly isn't too much time difference, but it is a good fuel difference if you have to go grab 40 of previous area ghosts versus 40 of previous area ghosts and 40 of current area ghosts at the same time. It's a little bit more annoying to hop between those two things. I don't know. I prefer to chill in one area to grab those ghosts. I feel like it makes a quest so much more doable than if you have to like alternate between them, even if it does overall make the quest around the same length. it's a little bit more just to be able to stay in one area, I think. A little less taxing on the mind, at least. Alright. 40 more Explorer Ghosts. This quest line. But yeah, once we complete this, we should be done with main hub. Like, all we have left here is this quest, which is an infinite quest, so we won't actually be caring about doing it. But yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting. This will be probably the first time I've been 100% completed with, like, ever in Ghost Simulator. I obviously have had 100% before. Since at one point, every time you server hopped in Ghost Simulator, you gain, like, 10% game completion, so you could go up to, like, infinite game completion percent. But I think getting 100% through that method was kind of cheese and doesn't really count. Although it does mean I have technically had 100% before. But yeah. Hi. Do I have any tips for getting overwhelmed in Ghost Simulator? Yes, actually. Focus on like single quests. If you can just focus on a single quest and not get overwhelmed with, oh, then once I complete this quest, I have to go complete that quest, and then I have to go get through back door, and then I have to go rebirth again, and then I have to go grind for a Cosmic Wing. That can help with being overwhelmed if you just be like, okay, yeah, let's just go do this easy quest today, and then we can move on, or something like that. Small goals like that can help with being overwhelmed. Yeah, it's interesting. There's this problem where you can either not be motivated enough, or you can get overwhelmed. And both will lead to the same thing of you not playing like Ghost Simulator or games you like. And they both have like opposite solutions. So instance, if you aren't like motivated to play like Minecraft or something, you can actually set like an end goal. Like, oh, I want to make a really cool house at some point. And then you can just slowly work towards it. And always have that in the back of your mind at something you want to do. And then make sure everything you do works toward that. And that can be your motivation. But at the same time, that can be kind of overwhelming. And so having those small steps towards that goal can make it less overwhelming. So, I don't know. It's been one of those things where it's like, there's those opposite things that you actually have to do both of. And it's like, very interesting where there's not like one solution to every problem. It's more of like, you have to balance everything that you do. Yes, you are the only one in chat, Angel K. The single person in chat. There's totally not 20 other people chatting in chat right now. Ella is evil, because if you upgraded your antenna before, you need to get the materials again. Do I want to get banned? It's fine. Okay, I will say, that complaint is a very funny complaint for reasons I can't share. That is what I can share right now. Yeah, I can share that right now. You guys won't be able to guess that. Totally. Oh yeah, hello Angel K. Yeah, no, it's interesting. I don't know, being a YouTuber for this small of a game, I think how good the game is kind of reflects a little bit good on me, because like it is so underrated that I end up being underrated by extension, and it just people, I don't know, I feel like it makes people think I'm better YouTuber than I am or something like that. Also, this quest is also annoying. How much completion? I'm still at 96%. I've been at 96 since I started the stream. I really thought at this point I would be up to 97% at least, but it looks like nope. I do know that though that quests do contribute to game completion percent. So at some point we should be able to get another percent, hopefully. Yeah, that's... Yeah, I'm at like 50%, 6%. Yeah, it's actually super easy to get the first few percent. Like up to like 60% is actually super... Okay, maybe not super easy, but it's actually relatively easy, and I think that's good for the game. And I think that actually makes... I personally like that in the game. So a lot of people can be like, oh yeah, I've actually like 60% game completion, and it's actually a decent... I think a decent show of progress, like to have like that 60% game completion, because it shows you've been like... You've basically played through the game once, which is a very good marker, whereas like 96 to 100% probably takes the same amount of time as like 20 to 60%, but like it's one of those things where it's actually probably good that it happens that way, because I don't know, I like front loading stuff. If stuff's like front loaded on progression in like games, where progression's easy, progression's fast, it makes the game a lot more enjoyable, I think, for new players, which makes them stay longer. So even if like the end game is super horrible and long, and it's like, why does this game start out so easy and then you hit this brick wall? It does make new players actually able to get into the game, which I think is a requirement for pretty much all games. So yeah. Honestly, I don't know anyone with 100% game completion. I'm sure someone like Big Ten 4 might have it, but the thing is, like, with the rebirths being in the game, a lot of people will just be like, a lot of people will end up doing a quest then rebirthing, and they won't have that quest for the game completion percent later, or they'll skip packs and backs and not even realize, stuff like that. And I just realized this quest is an evil. This quest is evil. Lucky Cats spawn once every minute. You just need to go to their spawns and collect them. They have a set spawn rate, so you can know where they'll spawn next if you know where they just spawned. It's on the wiki, so look up Lucky Cat on the wiki. You should be able to find the ghost, and then be able to follow a set of spawns in there. But yeah, guys, we have to vacuum 50 rare ghosts from both Volcano and Underwater. This is stupid. Yeah, I don't think anyone currently has 100%. I know people in the past have had 100% because, as I said, there's been bugs with game completion. You used to be able to get over 100% game completion. But yeah. $50 special ghosts? Yeah, it's... Oh yeah, so many people judge NPCs on their rewards. I usually don't consider it fair to do that. But like I think in this case, I think it's a bit extreme that they require you to grab 50 of each rare ghost. I think maybe, just maybe, this questline should get nerfed to 25 of each rare ghosts, and call it good. Honestly, I'm usually always good in terms of like how I'm feeling, stuff like that. I'm like generally the worst I'm feeling is unmotivated, which honestly, unmotivated is very normal and not bad at all. I mean, it can be bad in like with other things, like if you're unmotivated and you feel like you haven't got anything done, it's horrible. I know those feelings, and usually I can get out of them pretty easily, but I know some people aren't as easy with like being able to just be productive on like a snap of the fingers. But yeah, there are some very times where being unmotivated is bad, but like that's generally the worst I ever have in terms of how I'm feeling. But I think Volcano and Mermaid rare ghost chance are higher. They aren't... Okay. I can't say they aren't with certainty. I can say they aren't with a, with a conjecture of playing this game for, like, way too many hours. Because, like, I've been in every area, and the rare ghosts feel like they spawn at the same rate in every single area. So I doubt there's, any level of change no matter where they're at. Anything that asks for more than 30 rare ghosts of it, 30 of any specific rare ghost should be... Okay, I shouldn't say that. That'd be rude. I wouldn't mind if they got Thanos in the next update. Which is a running joke in Ghost Simulator, because we really don't know what second arc's like antagonist is going to be. So the running joke is that it's just going to end up deleting like half the NPCs randomly, because like, you know, there are like half the NPCs in the game that no one does, and no one would really notice that they got deleted. So at least that's my joke, is that if Thanos went ahead and deleted like half the NPCs, or something like that, where it's like half the NPCs just disappear in Ghost Simulator. It'd be horrible for lore, but like from a gameplay perspective, it wouldn't even change the game. Like it's a horrible lore perspective, since NPCs are kind of people in the Ghost Simulator lore, but as a villain, like Ghost Simulator, it would balance your game and make the game so much better. No, on a serious note, though, it would be nice to actually have the NPCs balanced and be kept. I don't think deleting stuff is a good way to balance a game. I think just make it so that that thing is, instead of deleting it, make it so it's balanced, so it's actually useful, rather than just deleting it. From a legitimate gameplay design point, that is probably the best thing you can do. But on the other hand, there's so much useless stuff that just deleting half of it would be kind of funny. Yeah, I have some strong words with Ella, and I don't know why I don't remember this quest. Like, this is legitimately worse than okay, no, it's not quite worse than that Shelly's quest line, because you have to server hop for that Shelly's quest line and still have to do rare ghosts in Ghost World. But it is very close to that same difficulty as Shelly's quest line. And everyone complains about Shelly, and no one complains about Ella. I don't know. I don't know. I have at recent points sent some suggestions to adjust some of the NPCs in Ghost Simulator. Mainly it was just Adam, Jesse, and Finsley. I think I sent changes for. Just to like balance the NPCs a little bit more. But like, I don't know. Since those haven't really gotten any good response, I don't feel like making a whole in-depth like guide on how you could actually balance every single quest in some of these hard quests if like devs aren't going to read it in the first place. But yeah. Old Finzi is worse than old Yoko and Shelly combined. Yeah, a lot of these a lot of NPCs in like Main Hub got rebalanced like when Backdoor was coming out, which was really nice. Unfortunately, like stuff in Ghost World haven't really been rebalanced, other than like Yoko, which people had to do for like rebirths and stuff, which was nice. I really like Yoko's rebalance. It didn't really make the quest. It really kept the quest like the same difficulty. Like you're required to do the same amount of bosses and stuff for Yoko, but instead of having to do a specific bosses, you're now able to do either mini bosses or mega boss or normal bosses. It makes the quest feel a lot better. Keeps the same like sort of difficulty level. I typed in chat. That was what was going on. I was trying to figure out why it was locked. I really like that sort of balance where it kind of keeps the same sort of idea of difficulty. Doesn't make the quest super easy, but makes it so much more tolerable to do and does make it easy in like less obvious ways. Obviously, some quests like this just need a straight up nerf where it's just less ghosts. But there's sometimes where you can just change a quest and make it easier. But yeah, I do remember Yoko, him being very similar to old Blaze and stuff like that. I remember Blaze being requiring 2 godlies instead of now it requires 1 godly. There's been a lot of things that they have changed to make the game easier, and I think more of those changes need to be implemented. I think the game's already too hard. I don't need to go out this way. But, like, I feel like a lot of old players in Ghost Simulator always complain when stuff is made easier for new players. And I personally think that things should be made easier for new players because, like, there's so much of the game that they haven't experienced. It's kind of unfair that they get stuck on someone like Jesse for an hour. I think... I know a lot of old players disagree, and they're like, oh no, Jesse's fine, Finsley's fine, all those quests are fine. I personally think quests should be made easier for newer players than other people, but I don't know. I think people complain a little bit too much when things are made easier for new players. Like people having good stat pets to begin with from coats, people complain about that a lot. I think it's personally actually not too bad. I think it allows new players to get into the game faster, and I think that helps them stay longer. I don't know the actual numbers on that, but at the same time, there should be some sort of progression in stats. Right now, stats are kind of broken. I don't think stats was the best example for that, but there really needs to be some progression, but it also should be quite a bit easier for new players than, like, older players. I don't know if Hi's ignoring you. I probably am ignoring you if it's about one specific thing. Otherwise, I'm probably just not understanding which message you are talking about. Do you think there will ever be a equip best pets button? No, because you can just go into your inventory, come over here. Look, guys, this is your equip my best pet. You come over here, sort by actor token boost, and go equip, 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 down the line. Obviously, there might be some levels scenarios where you do want to equip the level 15 instead of like the level 14. But for the most part, you can just sort by actor token boost and do that. There's not really a reason. You don't have a massive inventory where you don't really have sorts or anything like that, like in other games where it is actually a pain to actually sort through and find your best pets for like each specific scenario. I know Mining Simulator, with all of its different worlds and stuff, it's a pain to go find like what your best pets are for each area. And so it makes sense to have like that equip best pets button. So you can be like, oh yeah, I really want something, and you just go, I don't need to worry about it. But yeah, I don't think it's really needed in Ghost Simulator. There's not really any specific reason why you'd equip any other pets as your best pets. Pretty much your best pets is what you always have equipped, unless you're using a leveling up team, which frankly no one really uses leveling up teams unless they're for quests. So usually then it's you switch it over to it. But yeah. Oh, yeah, Classified Unboxing is its whole nutshell. It is way too much RNG, I think. It's kind of funny, it's good. It's good in some respects that it is that RNG. I don't think it should be made easier or anything. I think it's at a good level where it's at. But I understand the pains that people go through because you can go on a very bad RNG streak just as easily as you can watch someone else get super lucky and get it on their first attempt, and that is frustrating. I know someone grinding, I think it was Big Ten 4, grinding for a classified from the dev classifieds, went over I think 2 or 3 or 4,000 keys without getting a single dev classified. Yet at that same time, like, multiple people were able to get 1, 2, 3, 4 dev classifieds in like less than 500 keys. And it's so annoying to see that that's a possibility when you're grinding with an RNG stuff, because you've spent 10 times the time they have, and yet you don't have it and they do. It feels really unfair. But yeah. Testers. Testers in Ghost Simulator, they hire testers when they need testers. So they've hired at the beginning of the game, but they've also hired like random people throughout the game's history. They usually hire if you're like an active player. Usually being active in their community helps. But like only if you have to like be mature. You have to know how to report bugs. You have to know how the game works. There's a lot of good requirements that you need to meet to become a tester for Ghost Simulator. It isn't just like, oh yeah, one day you ask a developer and they're like, oh yeah, you'll be a tester. No, you actually have to be like active in the game. They'll hand select you, stuff like that. Yeah. The ones that are unlucky gets the classifieds. The ones that are lucky get the reality checked early so they don't get hooked. Yes, that's kind of how it works with all gambling. Like, in some respects, if you get lucky gambling and win, you're almost more unlucky. Like, I think gambling's a very good example where getting hooked is almost worse than just losing right off the bat. Because if you lose, you aren't going to come back. But if you win, now you're hooked, and now it's so much worse to get unhooked. Oh, nice. Yeah, grinding for, like, Hoshi Blade is a super nice thing to do. I don't know. I remember grinding a long time for Ghostly. Oh, there's the mermaid. And it was a really fun to do is grind for, like, Ghostly, grind for... Okay, it wasn't really too much of a grind for Bitbox or the main hub one. But, like, grind for Ghostly was a good grind. I remember grinding for Hoshi Blade. I did that, like, 2 streams, I think. Took me. Now I get that. I get it in an insanely fast amount of time. But, yeah, grinding for those can be a really good, really fun. Like, I don't know. There are some goals in Ghost Simulator where they're really nicely placed. Like, I don't know. It's a good example. Yeah, those unlockables are a good example. I think stuff like the Gum Hotkey is a very good example of a very good reward that's placed nice, where it's kind of hard to go get that Gum Hotkey, but once you have it, it's well worth it. But yeah. This quest probably took me like 30 minutes to do. I haven't really been paying attention, but like, seriously, this quest took way too long. Yeah, does anyone know when I started this quest? Yeah, it's taken you 25 minutes. For real, it's taken me 25 minutes to do a single quest. This is giving me like Backdoor vibes. When Backdoor was like first coming out, I was grinding through it like every single NPC that came out. Everyone would grind through that NPC like right when it came out, and it took like players like 4, 6, 10 hours to get through each of those NPCs. I was going through there because there was no gum. To make it easier, most people didn't have game passes at that point because there was a lot more players. I did have game passes at that point, so I went through Backdoor without game passes, without OP pets. Okay, I had OP pets for the time. I had like mini fluffs, but like you compare mini fluffs to like current pets, and you realize like, yeah, mini fluff. I think actually mini fluff got a buff, so I can't say that anymore. But I don't even have mini fluff. But like, yeah, Mini Fluff has less stats than like some of the code pets that people have now. So go ahead and lock that. So yeah, you can't. it was a struggle going through backdoor and stuff. And that's what this reminds me of. It's just a super long for each quest, and it's just a grudge through it. Yeah, I don't know. That's definitely true. It's the gameplay of Ghost Simulator definitely, with the long times between each quest dialogue, you definitely do kind of lose track of what was said beforehand. But yeah. Yeah, no, I don't always think before I say stuff, especially when it's like Discord or something. Wait, someone found my private server link. Lol, that's funny. I remember I mentioned that someone must have spent the time trying to find that private server. Or maybe they're my friend. Are they my friend? No, they're not my friend. Someone just went and found my private server link. That's funny. Yeah, 30 minutes and I'm finally done. Hopefully the next few quests are just instant complete so I can stop worrying about it. But yeah, I think lore in Ghost Simulator, I don't know. I feel like the game's a little bit too lore dependent. I think convert 5 million ecto tokens to gems in the volcano. Guys, can you even convert exactly 5 million gems? Like seriously. No, you can't even convert. You can't even convert exactly 5 million gems. That's so stupid. I love those converter quests because they are so stupid. Because it really should just be named use the converter in the volcano or something rather than convert X amount of gems. $9 million is the minimum. Yeah, do max. Yeah, max. The converter is super useful. Honestly, they're kind of overpowered, but yeah. Do max, I guess. It really should just be named use the converter in my... Who do you think I am? Okay, this is... I just got done with 50 of each rare ghost, and now you're asking for 30 more? This quest. Please tell me I'm at least getting 1% out of this. I haven't even got a percent yet. That's a shame. Now I am quite annoyed at quest lines in general. Who thought this was a good quest? Who looked at Ella and was like, oh yeah, I'm sure people won't mind spending 2 hours on the last 3 quests. Yeah, puppies are adorable. I don't know. Actually, mine hasn't came and talked to me for a walk during the stream, and I'm kind of scared. Okay, no, not really. I'm kind of glad, but on the one hand, I'm like, I really should be taking my puppy for more walks than I do when I do these streams. I think other people are home though, so she's actually been able to get walks from like other people, which is good. But yeah. 120 rare ghosts though. This is a quest. We are going to be here for another, like, 20 minutes. What was the first classified I unboxed? The first classified I unboxed would have been a board. I can't remember whether it was... I think it was legitimately Jet... or Blowjet. I think Glowjet was legitimately the first classified I've unboxed. Yeah, I think it was Glowjet. Thinking on it. Then I unboxed Varus. Both those two were while memeing someone else was unboxing, so I decided to go unbox it next to them. It was kind of a bad strategy, but it was kind of funny at the same time. But yeah, then I unboxed Zing, which was the first one I've done on stream and the first pet I got, which is a bit more hype because when it comes down to it, boards are 4 times easier to get than pets, which means you use 4 times less time, 4 times less gems, and 4 times less gum, which is just, you know, it is just 4 times less, but that's a big decrease for it. But yeah, Zing was the first pet I got, which is probably the one I'm most proud of. After Zing, I think I got Kozagwing. And then I think I just kind of whatever. Yeah, I think that's the order of classifieds. What percent am I on? I am still on 96%. And I'm going to be on 96% for the next 20 minutes because I'm stuck on this quest. Which is stupid because, like, it's a second arc quest. It shouldn't be this difficult. Also, this dude is laggy. Oh, another person joined the server. What classified board do I like the most? Honestly, Gemship is one of my favorite classified boards in Ghost Simulator. Like, I don't even have Gemship, is the funny thing. But, like, it's somewhere between, like, Chroma Float, Gemship, and Space Shuttle, I think, on what my favorite classified board is. Chroma Float's a really cool, I really love how big it is. It's rainbow, everyone loves rainbows. Space Shuttle is a really cool concept. Funniest thing is that Space Shuttle was actually added into the game before, Oblivion was, which is hilarious. But yeah, and then, yeah. And then Gemship. Gemship's kind of purple. Very, very cool looking board. I don't actually have it. I kind of want it. I'm kind of annoyed I haven't got it yet, to be honest. Unboxing wise. I really feel like I should have unboxed it at this point, but yeah. No, I don't mind you guys using my private server at all. I've actually sent it on the public Discord for Ghost Simulator. At least once, probably multiple times. I am perfectly fine with other people using my private server if they need to. It's one of those things where it doesn't hurt me for you guys to use my private server, and it's so much of an increase for people who can't afford a private server to be able to just use someone else's for free. I personally don't mind at all. Yeah, I really love basic type boards. If something's like one color, it's one of my favorites. There's a reason why my favorite pet is like purple. Because, well, obviously it's because it's purple, but it's also because of how like simple of a concept it is. It's just a purple dragon named Purple, which is super simple. Reason why some of my favorite boards are Glismata and Ghost Server, because they are very basic purple boards. Yeah, I kind of like basic in my opinion. I know like a lot of people like the extravagant stuff like Space Shuttle, stuff like Sky Server, where it's a little bit more colorful, a little bit more flavorful. But yeah, it's not my cup of tea. There's a reason why I don't like Wormhole, which is funny because Wormhole's kind of basic too, but I don't know what it is about Wormhole. It's like the size or the shape or something about Wormhole I don't like. But yeah. Yeah, Gemship is actually insanely hard to actually get. I don't know. I haven't seen anyone with it recently. I haven't ever unboxed it, and I've unboxed thousands of those boss chests. I've seen it unboxed, I guess, in my server, but it's one of those things where it is kind of hard to get still. Why do I only play Ghost Simulator? That's kind of what I'm known for on YouTube. I actually asked in my Discord server whether or not people would like to see me play a random puzzle game on stream today. People voted against that, but I've been playing other games in my free time. I played Bloons Tower Defense 6 quite often. Actually, it's just BTD 6. It's not Bloons Tower Defense because Tower Defense is copyrighted, and therefore you can't use the word Tower Defense in your game's name, or you get, I don't know. You probably won't get sued, but like, it's kind of funny. That's how it works. But yeah, the reason I do play Ghost Simulator primarily for my YouTube is because that's what most people are coming to me to watch for. So if I make a game, if I make videos on like Roblox, or not on Roblox, on like Minecraft, on like other Roblox games, what ends up happening is no one really watches those videos, just because like most of the people who view my content will be like, oh yeah, not Ghost Simulator, I'm not going to watch it. So some people obviously will. Some people do watch me for my content, but not everyone does. And so they end up either getting 0 views. It's hard to make content for games I'm not used to making content for. So like Minecraft, I'm not great at making content for Minecraft. So anytime I do make a video for Minecraft, it's usually pretty badly edited. Not in the format that people who watch Minecraft videos are used to. So they end up usually getting lower amount of views, which I don't know. I don't enjoy playing Minecraft that much more than Ghost Simulator to really warrant me making content on it. So I usually just end up making content on Ghost Simulator because, I don't know, I like playing Ghost Simulator. I don't know. What's my dream classified pet / board? Honestly, Chroma Float would have been that one. And I already have it, so at this point, there's not really any dream one that I have that I'm working towards. It's just more of collection's sake that I'm getting some of them. But yeah. It could be a second channel. Yeah, there's not really a reason for me to make a second channel. Like, guys, I only have like 1.4 thousand subscribers. I can add all my content to one channel. It's not like people are coming for me for... Yeah, there's no reason for me to have a second channel. I'm not big enough for it to warrant that. Yes, I might need dev classifieds for 100%. And if that's the case, I'll go ahead and trade for them because trading does count for index. But yeah, we'll cross that bridge when I get there. I covered that at the beginning on my first stream. That I probably do need to get stuff like Mini Guardian, Debug. It's the easiest one. What's the other one I'm missing? I'm missing one other than those two, and it's stupid. Dev classifieds, and then what's the other one? Let's go check my journal. I know I'm missing 3 pets, plus the 3 dev classifieds in terms of my journal. Mini one's the other one I'm missing, so I'll probably need to go get all of those for actually getting 100% game completion. But that's one of the last things I am planning on doing, mainly because like trading's kind of boring, and also like I don't know, I don't like. We leveled up a pet, guys. Sandstorm's now level 6. Ooh, and we were almost leveling up these classifieds too. I guess that's one good thing about these stupid quests, is that at least I get some levels from them. But like, is it really worth having this long of a quest line? Yeah, I think the problem with Ghost Simulator, is it's a bit too long to start out with games. Like most simulators, you start out and you're able to be like progression. Like Ghost Simulator, you start out and you're like, oh yeah, you can go vacuum some ghosts. Oh, you're done with that? Okay. Another 20 minutes, you can complete this next quest. Then this next quest. It's a little bit slower paced. You aren't like doing any fast paced grinding or anything like that starting off with that. It's a lot more grindy than other simulators are, so I think that detracts a little bit from it. But yeah. Agents HQ is not the only special zone to not be located in the first location of that sections of areas. Construction site in city. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, that is actually the case, yeah. It's interesting. I don't really even think about that, to be honest. Even though I do grind in like blocks by grind in those areas quite a bit, I'm usually ignoring it, like all those stuff. But yeah, that's actually a cool site. There's actually quite a few things like that too, I think. Where there's just these small little technicalities. It's kind of funny to think about. But yeah, most useless feature in Ghost Simulator, gem drops from ghosts. Like when is 404 ghosts ever? When is 404 gems ever going to be a useful amount of gems? Like legitimately, the gem drops from ghosts is never useful. Also, the void in general, like being able to sell for gems, it's a neat concept, but it's actually useless. Oh, there we go. We're done with parrots. Yeah, you can also make an argument for like gem chests. Incinerator is also a pretty good useless feature. I actually have a video of the 5 most useless features in Ghost Simulator. Incinerator rates highly. Let's see. Stuff like Jax obviously is pretty high on that list. Infinite quests are actually useless too. You start noticing a trend where it's like a lot of gem stuff is kind of just useless. But yeah. Actually, all of them are. Even some of the stuff that aren't really related to weather, or that don't seem related to weather, like, what's a good one? Cosmic Wing, it's more of like natural stuff is what they're related to. Like, Cosmic Wing's a star, stars are natural. Yeah. We have a meteor, which is obviously natural meteor. Sandstorm is a sandstorm. But yeah, it's been a theme that way for I think since they added the second one, people have been catching on to that's the theme. I don't know if there's any true exceptions to that rule. Even like the ones from the dev classifieds are actually pretty similar to that. Pyrus is like a fire storm, which is, or fire hurricane tornado something, which is actually a legitimate thing that happens very rarely. If there's like a lot of wind in like a forest fire, but yeah. Alpha Pet or Alpha Vortex Board. I don't know what you're specifically asking me with that question, whether it's one or the other. Personally, I like the old Alpha Vortex board. That is an only me thing, and no one else actually does that. But yeah. Yeah, I'm almost done with this quest. It's actually nice. Spiritfly is a butterfly, which is, I mean, obviously that's an animal, which is obviously something natural. Euphoria is a tree, which is also somewhat natural. I mean, there is weather-related stuff like the meteor or sunny or stars are. So honestly, it's more of a nature theme than a weather theme. But yeah, it's definitely nice that they have those sort of themings in the classified pets. Yeah, I'm almost done with this quest, guys. Just as long as the next one is items instead of like, I don't know, 100 normal ghosts from each area, I think we should be fine. But I can totally see someone being like, what do people want to do after they just completed 50 of rare ghosts and then 30 of each rare ghost? That's right. Oh yeah, they'd like to go vacuum 100 of each normal ghost. That'll definitely make them feel really good. Oh, what's my favorite zone? I get asked this question quite often, and I think I always answer something different, which is kind of bad. But I really like how Ghost World is. I hate how the NPCs are laid out and stuff like that. But I really love the idea of Ghost World, where it's just kind of this open world. You're able to go wherever you want. We're at 97% game completion! We've done it! Okay. Oh man, it was worth it. I hate that every second of that quest. Torture is over. 97. Yeah, now we're done with main hub, we'll go ahead and hop over to Ghost World and start working on that fun stuff. Woo! Now what's left? Now we have Ghost World, which has 3 NPCs. We have Nixie, which is probably the first one we'll do. We have Jilin, which is the NPC with the quests for pets. And then Jax. Jilin and Jax are going to be a pain to do, so we'll leave those off. We'll do Nixie. And then we have NPCs in Ghost World, in Backdoor, which is going to be Allie, which is going to be easy. Gabe 3, which will be easy. And Willen, which will be impossible. So we have those 3. So we have about 6 more quests left to do. So yeah. Don't have Nixie, it's a permanent quest line. Yeah, guys, up until last stream, I didn't even know Nixie existed as an NPC. Someone legitimately mentioned in my last stream, wait, you forgot Nixie. And I'm like, who's Nixie? And then I'm like, wait, there's this one NPC in Ghost World that was added that I have no idea who they are. That's probably Nixie. And lo and behold, I had completely forgotten Nixie even existed in Ghost Simulator. Oh yeah, leveling quests are the absolute worst. I am not looking forward to Jilin or Willen. I'm probably going to end up doing Jax before Jilin just because of how easy it is, but yeah. But yeah, we'll go do this. This will probably be a nice, easier quest than Pinwheel Ghost. They are over here. This will probably be a very easy quest compared to Ella, which we just did. So yeah, this is definitely going to be a nice change of pace for this stream, I think. Yes, I did finally complete Michaela. That was actually in my last stream on game. Oh, nice. We're working on Jax too. What's the hardest second arc quest line? I would say Ella, just because that's the one I most recently did. That was horrible to do. But honestly, I don't know. It could be... Arguments, I guess, could probably be made for Riley or Hikari or Gabe. Since they're permanent, I don't know what they are anymore, so I don't remember if they were hard or not. So we are going to go with Ella. But yeah, I don't know. It could be one of those, but probably Ella. I was not expecting that quest to be rare ghosts. It took me a while to realize that was actually 50 rare ghosts. I was like, first I saw like the 50 Explorer Ghosts. I'm like, okay, 50 of each normal ghost. That's a fine quest. And then I realized like I only had 3 of the Volcano Ghosts. I'm like, I'm sure I've vacuumed more than 3. And then I realized it was Naga monsters. And I realized, nope, I was in for a ride on that quest. But yeah. Yeah, unboxing Godlies isn't that hard for most people, I don't think, at this point. Like, hardest part of it is the gems, which is honestly pretty easily once you have 1 rebirth in Ghost Simulator. Like, no one really struggles to get a single Godly anymore in Ghost Simulator. It's more of like specific Godlies like on the higher end that people can struggle to get. Do you have any quick tips on rebirthing? Yes, before you rebirth, always have a good supply of glitchy loot gum, and make sure you get good pets before your first rebirth. Those will make your next rebirth so much faster. Missing goggles. I don't know where these are. Yeah, you know, there's definitely been some people out there that get really lucky like that. It's insane. It's weird with classifieds like that. You can get really lucky, or you can grind forever and get super unlucky. It's a very horrible RNG shame. Anyways, let's see. We are looking for goggles. That's goo. Haunted Castle in Corner. Yep, I would never have found that one. Other side of the key fragment. Yeah, guys, I don't know where these find items are for quests I never do. Like, I didn't even know she was an NPC, so I'm... It's not a surprise, I have no idea where this find item is. But yeah. Is Old Gran's questline permanent? Yes! Old Gran is one of the best questlines in the game because she is permanent. But yeah. It's a super good questline to do. Uh-oh. I have this really good craving for some random food, and I don't know what it is. And I know someone will ask what I want for dinner, and so, yeah. Anyways. Alright, let's go complete the tunnel lobby. Every single questline... Okay. The whole purpose of Ghost Simulator, like, the whole story of Ghost Simulator is breaking the 4th wall. So it's not a surprise when, like, individual NPCs do it. Or at least it shouldn't be. Also, she mentions auto-clickers in the game. Which is actually kind of confirmation that auto-clickers are allowed in Ghost Simulator. So, yeah. Also, devs have pretty much allowed it, but like, there's in-game confirmation of auto-clickers being used in Ghost Simulator. It's kind of funny. It's one of the most memorable lines, in my opinion, of dialogue from NPCs. I think the other one that's memorable is like, you aren't a YouTuber just doing me for the... You aren't recording me for YouTube or anything like that. Something like that. There's an actual NPC that said something. I don't remember if it was an event NPC or something else, but yeah, it's kind of funny how many how much 4th wall breaks there are in Ghost Simulator. Macroing is not allowed in Ghost Simulator. Macroing is hard disallowed. Auto-clicking is allowed, but macros are not allowed. Gum is cold. Oh, yeah. Yeah, even auto-clickers, like, there's been times where people can get banned for using an auto-clicker. Like, during the Atlantis event, people were, people weren't allowed to use auto-clickers for, like, auto-grinding bosses in the, Atlantis event. It was considered, I think, bannable. So yeah, it really depends on what your usage for. If you're using it to, like, speed up, like, slow stuff like unboxing crates, using gums, automatic automatically shooting a boss or something like that, it's fine. But if like you're using to automatically like grind, it's not allowed. So you have to still be there for like you to be able to use like macros or for you to be able to use auto clickers. But yeah. What is macroing? Macroing is the broad term for using anything to automate inputs into your computer or something. So technically, auto clicking is an input, is a macro. The difference is auto clickers is more of generally considered just at a specific point. So just clicking here would be auto clicking, whereas like clicking here, 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 here would be a macro. Or moving around and clicking would be a macro. At least that's generally how I understand it. I think that's generally how it's understood, but that's my understanding of it. Obviously, a macro it does include auto clicking, because macro is just anything that allows you to do a lot of actions with little input or no input or stuff. But yeah. No, if you aren't abusing it though, if you've used like a macro or something, I wouldn't worry too much about it. If you like used a macro for like 5 minutes because you wanted to go, I don't know. If you use it for like 5 minutes or something stupid like that, you're fine. But yeah, if you abuse something like that and you're like AFK grinding for like all night for items or something, it's definitely abuse and you would get banned. I know in other games on Roblox, like Bee-Swarm Simulator, you are allowed to use macros. It's obviously it's game to game that gets to decide whether or not macros are usable. If I created a game, I would say even auto clickers aren't allowed in my game. I haven't really created a game, so you guys don't need to worry about that. But yeah, it's really just ask the people who know the game what's allowed, what's not. There's always some specific rules, and it's always different for every game. Yeah, this quest line's actually not that bad. I mean, that quest was long, but it wasn't like too hard to do. As I said, being able to just collect in one area just feels super nice in Ghost Simulator. Like, even if it's technically the same length to collect in 2 areas, if you need to get 40 ghosts from one area, 40 ghosts from another, it's the same length as collecting 40 ghosts from one area, just because of respawn time. But because you don't have to think too much, it's usually funner, I guess, to grab from just one area. But yeah. Banned from Ghost Simulator. I know people who've been trade banned. I don't know them like personally, but I know that people have been trade banned for like scamming, sharking, stuff like that. I know people get banned from the Discord server for various reasons, like being rude to admins is one that pops up into my mind. Not thinking of any case specifically there. But yeah. I'm sure there have, also for duping. I think people have been banned for duping too. I know we had, like, at some point we had 1 or 2 instances of duping being an issue, which got cleaned up, I think, relatively fast. It's not like dupes are everywhere in the economy, but at the same time, we don't really have an economy, so there could be a billion dupes and we just don't know. But yeah. Dumb reasons. Yeah. I know Discord has a very strict no mature references policy, which at some point is, I know a lot of people are like, oh yeah, it's funny, it's a joke. I think that was one of the specific scenarios. I'm not going to bring up too much more specifically that, but I also know, like, I was rude to admins at one point in the Discord server and was banned for that, which I totally understand. I sometimes say stuff without thinking and was quite rude to people if I don't like someone, and you say something stupid and I don't like you, I am probably going to respond very rudely. And so I got banned for that for, I don't know, a while. It happens. But yeah, that's the thing. It's one of those things where following rules isn't too hard, but remembering to follow rules is hard. Like, sometimes you just forget that rules are a thing, or you're like, does this really apply, or something like that. I don't know. I don't get how you dupe. Yeah, duping. There's a lot of different ways to dupe. Usually, the easiest way to dupe is usually when devs forget to update one inventory or forget to update something and update something else. So, like, instance with trading. One very common dupe when it comes to games that have trading is you trade someone, they put their items in, then leave the game. Their data is then saved as what it was before they traded the items. But then you accept the trade, and then you get the items. And since their data is saved since before you did the trade, and your data is saved after you did the trade, you've technically duped all the items you trade. I know that's a very common thing for games that have trading. Ghost Simulator I don't think has had that problem. It might have, but I don't know for certain if it has. That's a very common dupe. There's also other ways to dupe, like if you have like scripts or something. I'm sure there's ways where you could make the game just give you items or something stupid like that if you have it badly set up. Honestly, Roblox is a really interesting system to be making a game on.
Do you want lunch? Toast and cheese? Sorry, I interrupted you.
Nah, it's fine. But, yeah, okay, someone asked me if I wanted lunch. Anyways, I don't know if you guys heard that, but someone walked in and asked me if I wanted lunch. Anyways, yeah, there's a lot of different ways that you can dupe in games. It's never really consistent. And, like, the thing about Roblox is it's not a very locked down game. So, with how it's structured... Okay, funny story. So you guys know the leaderboards. This is just going to be an example for how it's badly structured. I don't think this is a horrible structure for the game. It's just kind of funny. Do you guys know the leaderboards that are in like games? Not like Ghost Simulator, but like other games where it's like, oh yeah, kills, levels, all that fun stuff over here. Yeah, you don't actually have it in Ghost Simulator. Actually, you do if you open up here. This sort of side thing. Where you have your players' names, you have your levels, stuff like that, all that fun stuff. Do you know how that's handled in Roblox? Rather than it being like a function or something that object or something that you can create, or that's created automatically for you. What you actually have to do to set up that leaderboard in a game is create a specifically named folder in the player object. And then add specific values to that object. It is such an obscure thing. It's so funny. And I think it goes to show just like Roblox, it was kind of hacked together in a way, which is usually good for games, honestly. If you can put something together faster, with less effort, to make it just as good, even if it works like or is like not really maintainable or something, it's usually good for like the first little bit. But like it goes to show that there can be some problems in Ghost Simulator where people can be like, oh yeah, let me go just run this quick script or something on my computer, and now all of a sudden I have all the best pets because the game decided to be like, oh yeah, all players can send a remote event to go ahead and give themselves whatever pets they want. I don't know if that's actually a possibility. I don't know how exactly Roblox works with what users can interact with scripts and stuff like that. But I do know that there's definitely more vulnerabilities than I would be comfortable with if I was making a very secure thing. But yeah, I think we'll go ahead and finish the next sea. I've been grinding for like what 3.5 hours, so we might not even complete next sea. Maybe we'll probably end the stream in like a few minutes, but the thing is, a boss takes longer than just grinding that much ectoplasm. Like, we can just go vacuum a few ghosts and get that much ectoplasm. Yeah, I always hate it when you have to do this ectoplasm quest, because it feels like you should just go do a boss to instant complete it. But, like, usually you can just grab ghosts and get enough for it. No, I don't really want to do that. Let's see. Blue ring, green ring. Yeah, this quest is actually really easy. It's a really nice change of pace compared to Ella's. I don't think we will be getting a % game completion from this, but, yeah. Yeah. We'll get us some progress. Maybe like a 10th or 20th. Blue ring, green ring. Okay, both are over here if I remember correctly then. Like, there's the green ring. And then the orange ring is up here, correct? Nope, there's the blue ring. 14 viewers? Yeah, that's actually... Honestly, 14 viewers is not bad. I usually don't care too much about my viewer numbers. Like, I'll have as many viewers as I have. I'm more of making these videos for my own fun anyways, but yeah. It's actually a pretty good amount of views on this stream. I think it's more of me doing it on Friday. A lot more people are available on Friday than there are, like, Monday at 7 a.m. Everyone's at school at that time. Oh man, this quest is actually long. Yeah, I don't know. I really hate to end the stream now, but I feel like at some point I'm going to have to just end this stream. I am getting hungry. Yeah, okay. I don't know. We'll go ahead and finish this. You deserve more viewers? Yeah, I mean, I'm not making the best content either. Like, if I was making better content, maybe I'd say that, but like 14 viewers is a lot of viewers in some respects. Do you stream cooking food? Yeah, I'm not home alone, guys, and I'm not including other people in this stream. I have families, and personally, I'd rather not. As in, I live at home with my parents, and I'd rather not include them in any of my stuff, so yeah. But yeah, once I finish this quest, I think I'll go ahead and end the stream. Probably looking at the quests that we have left, we have Jax, we have Jillen, we have Willen. We'll probably actually need to do a whole nother 2 streams. The only 2 streams to actually get up to 100% game completion. And also some grinding off stream to work on getting some key drives for Mini Guardian. It'll be this whole ordeal to get the last few 3% now. But I am glad that we are done with Ela. That was a long quest line that I'm not one to ever do again. So yeah, yeah. Would I cook on stream or at all if they weren't? I don't know. I'm not a very good cook. I'd probably be bad at it. Maybe box mac and cheese. I could figure out if I could cook that without making too much mistakes. But you'd all probably still laugh at me anyways. Wait, did I level up some pets? Oh, yo! We have all these maxed out. Yes, we have our dev classifieds maxed out, guys. That's progress. Yeah, I'll probably end up doing another stream. Not tomorrow. I don't know. I'll definitely be doing more streams. I know it's hard for you guys to catch these, so when you guys do catch them, you guys want me to stream for longer. But yeah, I think I've been streaming for almost 4 hours now, so I think this is probably a good place to end this stream. Progress wise, it's a long quest. We just complete this long quest and then end it there. I don't know. Probably should have ended it before we started this quest, so we aren't like next quest line. Oh yeah, we only need to go instant complete it. Okay, we'll just turn that one in really quick, and then next quest like, oh, I only need to go find a ring. Let me go instant complete that. And on and on and on until I get done with the quest. But hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully we can just complete this, have a decently lengthy quest, next quest, and just call it good. Also, I always love it how a ghost falls off this platform and down here. It's very funny. Next Friday? That's so far away. Yeah, I'll probably end up doing another stream like Monday next week or Tuesday next week, similar to how I did a stream earlier this week. And then probably also Friday. I don't know. Friday's a good day to stream, I think. Most of you guys have it off, or you guys have it a little bit more off since school's a little bit shorter. The only problem is, like, I have the inverse times, like, where if people are home, I'm usually not one to do streams. So I'm home like constantly. So I'm kind of one to stream when none of you guys are available to stream, which is kind of this inverse thing where it's like, it's good for me to stream when you guys are there, but at the same time, it's good for me to stream when you guys I like to stream when no one's there, but whatever. As in, like, usually people at my house, if people are at my house, like, sometimes we'll do, like, family games, or I'll be needed for other projects. So it's, like, scheduling a stream, then it's, like, a little bit sketchy. I might need to do something else for that day. So I usually don't schedule it on, like, days when normally people are available, because usually on those days my family's available, and so we'll end up doing stuff, but yeah. Yeah, it's an American thing to have half days on Fridays. But yeah, we'll go ahead and turn in this quest. And I think that'll be it for the stream. This stream's actually been really nice. We did get only 1% game completion from 96 to 97%. And we completed 3.5 quest lines. It looks like next quest will be another long quest. So that's good. But yeah, I think overall though, it's pretty good progress. I do have a bit of stuff to do off stream that I'll probably end up doing between this stream and next stream, where I grind for some key drives, because right now I have 94 and I need to get 250 to be able to get the mini guardian. Yeah, other than that, I'll probably on next stream be working on getting Nixie done for the rest of her 8 more quests, and then working on Jillen and then Jax. Or Jax and Jillen. Probably Jax and Jillen. So yeah. 3 more quests here. 3 more quests in Backdoor. And then Great Guardian. And then trading for dev classifieds. And we will be done with 100% game completion. So 2 more streams and we should be good. I'm in England. Yeah. I don't know. It's a lot of it depends on like where you're at situationally too, with like school days and stuff. It's this whole thing. You guys know what you guys have, but yeah. Personally, I'm in college, so college is weird, which means I have a lot of time off to do streams. But for that now, I'll go ahead and see you guys probably on Monday. Maybe if I'm doing nothing tomorrow, I'll squeeze in a stream on Saturday. But Saturday streams are very rare. I don't know, probably not. Probably Monday.